Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting adventure. It's time. It's time for Roll20 Presents. We're going to do Waterdeep, but before we do anything, literally anything else, we must begin with the traditional hoisting of the dragon. So last week, you'll remember that we hoisted a small white dragon. The small white dragon was a DC 9 hoisting check. And before we continue with Roll20 Presents Waterdeep Dragon Hoist, we must see who today shall be successful in hoisting the dragon. So last time, I believe it was a bit of an upset when Strong Boy 8 was unable to hoist the dragon in the first round. So that was disappointing. So today we're going to try to hoist a black dragon. We're going to go for a DC 12 hoist check.
Oh, sick.
Can I get athletics checks from my characters for a DC 12 dragon hoist?
Already did.
Successful. Yeah! Yes! Jewel, able to hoist the dragon. Oh. All right. So it's one success and one failure of course. Fantastic. Your goth dice will not save you today. So
bummer.
Today, able to hoist the small black dragon, it's Dave and Lauren. Congratulations, friends. Congratulations.
I 100% changed it to dragon hoist on my schedule.
Right? Yeah. It's hard not to. You know who could definitely hoist the dragon? Floon Blagmar. That guy could do it. I don't even have to roll. I can just say, I'm the DM. I get to make these things up. Floon could just totally hoist the dragon. How's everybody been? I've missed you, my friends. How are you?
Wow, okay.
There's some feeling there.
Doing great. Dave's having a good time.
Okay. I was excited for this stream, and then I just forgot who I was playing with.
You're playing with?
Fair. That's fair. How has streaming been going, Dave? You've been returning to the land of playing video games for other people's entertainment. How's that going? Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, pretty okay. Yeah, I don't know how everybody keeps up the energy. I sit there and I play a video game for 3 hours, and I'm like, okay, I should probably just sleep for 13 hours now.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. People who stream, what would you say your average amount of live time is if you're streaming a video game?
4 to 6 hours. Yeah, 4 hours.
4 hours.
5 to 7, maybe.
Right.
If I do crafting, it depends on the time of day and how many injuries I sustain. I used to do cooking and baking streams, and some of those were so fucking long, and I got really, really fucking exhausted. I made a lasagna one time from scratch, and it took 8 hours.
Like the noodles too?
I did not make the noodles from scratch. I made the sauce from scratch and the sausage from scratch, and it was a long time.
Yeah.
Honestly, the thing that most interrupts my video gaming stream schedule is streaming other stuff.
Yeah, same. Most of my streaming on my own channel these days is prep for other things. So getting ready or testing out systems or making characters or doing GM prep or the GM talk show stuff. I don't do a ton of these days a ton of playing video games on my channel. Every once in a while something will come on and I'll dedicate some time to it. But yeah, definitely. I definitely couldn't put in the time to do a 24-hour stream. 8 hours is really pushing it for me. So the whole purpose of that was to reassure you, Dave, that you don't have to play for 10 years at a time to still be able to stream. But you're enjoying your game?
Yeah, we were doing some interesting stuff, and then I decided I also wanted to play some boring stuff, but it was so boring for me that other people should be there as well to keep me entertained, and that's why I streamed it.
That's a real thing.
Yeah.
That's a real thing. If you can be entertaining, the amount that you have to be fun goes up.
Yeah.
The lower the game's ability. This is the thing about people who stream MMOs. They tend to have to bring a lot more energy to the stream because World of Warcraft is not going to do it for you necessarily on its own.
Yeah, World of Warcraft sucks.
You say that. But I've been playing WoW for pretty much the only thing I've been playing for the last 4 weeks, and it's going just fine.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you caught me. I was secret complimenting you there. You did it. Busted. You got me, Elf.
Uh-oh.
So you just been playing the WoW, Elf?
I've been playing WoW and a little bit of Spider-Man in between when I feel like I need to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been playing WoW for the last 4 weeks basically as the only other stream thing that I'm doing other than like this and Pathfinder. And it's been going pretty well. It's been going pretty great. Though this week I've been sick as hell.
Yeah. Failing those constitution saves.
So quick story time.
Here we go.
Brief story time. So I went to LARP last weekend and it was cold and it was raining. Like 0 degrees and rain the whole weekend, pretty much.
For people who are not Canadian, like me and Elf, is that 0 degrees?
The point at which water freezes into ice.
There you go. All right.
Temperature.
Cold.
Oh God, is this like where you like throw it in the air and it just turns into snow?
Like, no, not that cold.
It's like on the borderline of when it becomes.
I don't have a good concept for cold.
32 Fahrenheit is
32 Fahrenheit.
Yeah. So anyway, I went to LARP and had a great first evening, and then the second day I had the chills and like probably running a fever most of the day. It was bad. I got very sick. But we had a cabin, so I stayed in character.
Nice.
Sick in my bed. Every time the door opened, I was like, get the spell ready. You know, like I'm like delirious. I'm ready.
Did you get to do that thing? Did you get to have any scenes with someone where you're doing the like anime death flag coughing where you're like, please, you must go to the other cabin and get me a sandwich?
I definitely the character is like a lot sterner than that, you know what I mean? Like and so there was a lot of me being like, okay, I have to talk to this person who's visiting me. I sit up in my bed and I like talk to them, and then they turn their back and I'm like, oh, like just die.
Performance over.
Yeah. So I did like in character sickness when I was actually really sick. Like it was bad. It was a bad time. Yeah. But it carried over to the next couple of days. So my Monday and Tuesday were like shot basically. And then tomorrow I'm gonna go out and do it again. So
hell yeah, you are. Yeah, someone in chat made the point of that you make LARP sound fun, and I love they responded with that after you told a story about being too sick to LARP, and they're like, that sounds fun. I would do that.
I make LARP sound fun. Yeah. Yes, I have about 500 hours maybe of stories on my YouTube channel that are just LARP related.
Over on Court of Swords, Mark just came back from a big LARP and is trying to convince Max to do it. And I'm like, well, Elf talks about how fun it is, so yeah.
I mean, you know, you should all come to my LARP and play with me.
Listen, nobody wants to go to Alberta. I'm sorry.
Saskatchewan, actually.
Oh, that's worse. Oh, that's so much worse. Well, I don't want to talk about Saskatchewan. So, Blue Jay, what you been up to?
Well, I've been in Seattle, you know, as you do, not Saskatchewan. It's way awesomer here. I was going to say cooler, but it's not colder. And I didn't want to like, you know, cross the verbal. Anyway, I finished Graveyard Keeper. And
so that's a game you can finish. There is like an end to Graveyard Keeper. Okay.
Yes, I finished it. I summoned my wife from wherever she was. It was great. I have a wife now.
Is your wife a ghost or
in a video game? No, I can't tell you that. It's very personal.
That's how romance works in real life. In case folks didn't know, this is a little sneak preview about how actual romance works. You don't meet people like on the internet or at bars or like through your friends. You have to develop deep and powerful magic, and then you summon them from the ether, and then they love you, and that's how babies happen.
It does
sound
whatever your parents told you, it's a lie. It's a lie.
Babies are gross.
Yeah.
But I did. So I finished that, and I was looking for other stuff to play, and I hit up my friend Pumpkinberry, whom you got a kick out of the fact that together we're PB&J, so that's rad. And we're playing a game called The Forest and like doing a little RP in the forest. It's just the two of us.
Oh my god, The Forest!
It's a little spoopy. There's some crazy cannibals. Good. It's good times. Yeah. We're two moms, one son. It's good.
Have you enjoyed making armor out of human skin and making?
I haven't done that yet. We just got there. We just crash landed. It's only been a few days. I haven't
That's the first thing Dave does when he walks into a room, let alone like plays a video game. Like, yo, how do I make armor out of human skin around here? Is that you got a human skin laying around I can just make a suit of armor out of? Anybody?
Jesus.
No? Fine.
It's a horrifying game.
Yeah, it's very spooky. That's why we're doing it's like a Halloweeny sort of dealio.
Yeah. Little known fact about the game The Forest, it's set in Saskatchewan. So that's interesting. Didn't know that.
I don't know. Are there sharks in Saskatchewan?
I'm going to go ahead and say yes.
I think so.
There definitely are. It is a landlocked province full of sharks. The Saskatchewan reef shark is the most dangerous of all the Canadian interior sharks.
If there is one thing we know, it's that reef sharks are pretty
That's
dangerous.
right. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what they're based on in D&D. The summon. You summon Saskatchewan interior reef sharks.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah. Well, I'm from Canada, so I know.
Listen, they hunt in the snow, okay? They're seasonal sharks. Not only the water, but underneath the snow. Yeah.
All snow. All water.
It doesn't matter how deep the snow is, they can be under it.
Just make sure in the spring, like when you're wandering around, you don't go into a cave and like disrupt a nest of them
hibernating Saskatchewan snow sharks. Yeah, dangerous business.
Yeah, angry.
I hate all of you.
Listen, you know who's from Canada? Ed Greenwood. He based most of the Forgotten Realms on the Canadian provinces. Yeah, little known fact. Yeah. Waterdeep is based on Prince George. It's not. That's a lie. That's a terrible, terrible lie. It's not true. So you've been playing The Forest with Pumpkinberry.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And doing two other shows, playing City of Mist and Star Trek. But like both of those shows had their second episode delayed because like someone was sick and like other people like needed mental health days. And so I just we started it. And then I was like, and I had to wait a whole week and it threw off my whole everything.
That's the sound of someone who made a character and was really excited about playing them and then couldn't for several weeks.
That was that sound.
I know that sound. I've heard that sound before. Yep, that's fair. Cool. Well, I'm glad that you have some theoretical role-playing in your life. You can get some actual role-playing in today. This will be, I think, a characterization-heavy episode. I'm excited.
Yeah. I also listened to and finished because I went on a 7-hour drive to Canada. Don't ask me why it took 7 hours. It's not important.
Seattle's only 2.5 hours away from Canada, Blue Jay.
Yeah.
It took me 7 hours. I forgot my passport at home.
Oh
no! Yeah.
I got to the border, like 10 minutes from the border, and I forgot my passport at home, and I turned the fuck around, and then I went back.
Brutal.
Yep. Yeah. Rip.
But I got to listen to a lot of podcast roleplay. So a lot, more than I expected by like a lot. So I finished, a season of Friends at the Table. It was great.
Friends at the Table is good stuff. Austin Walker is a great human being. And
Austin, hit me up. I want to play role-playing games with you.
Someday.
I'm a friend. I could be at the table. Please help me.
Yeah. Well, that's good. At least you had time for Austin Walker. That's nice. Lauren, what have you been doing? What's going on with you? You making any cool costumes lately?
I'm making props. I'm doing a lot of RPG prep because I'm starting 3 shows.
Yeah, same.
Process, which is a lot of fun, but boy, is it a lot of meetings. Just a lot of meetings.
Yeah, people don't. It doesn't. The Dungeon Master's Guide doesn't cover that bit so much. Yeah. The cool.
Doodles.
Here's how to make a town. Here's how to balance encounters. But how to get human beings to cooperate in trying to get them to do anything. Not so much.
In one place at the same time.
No.
It's a different book.
That's a whole different one.
Really missing the source book.
I guess so.
Making dumb props for them because one of them is a Stargate show, so I'm making a Gould hand device because I'm that kind of nerd that makes props for my RPGs.
Nice.
Very cool.
And then figured out how to do voice modulation on my...
I saw a clip of that where you figured it out. You were playing something and there was that was good.
It's like this is the sort of nerd that I am.
Yeah, I have a player on roleplay who loves doing the hit the button and do a funny voice. And I'll be like, ooh, I'm talking on the radio. Let me put on the radio thing and press the button, and then it's
I just need to sound like an evil alien. That's the part that seems very important to me.
Based on my understanding of science fiction, to sound like an evil alien, all you have to do is just be a human, because we were the evil aliens.
With a British accent.
Yeah, British accent will make you.
You have to have a British accent.
Yeah, especially if you're playing someone who's German. you have to have a British accent.
Yeah. Or French.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. Dave's making a face. So like this is the thing, and there was a blog post or an article about it not that long ago, and I think it was when that movie with Jennifer Lawrence where she's supposed to be Russian. Yeah, she has a terrible Russian accent, but then there are people speaking Russian, but then they speak English with a British accent in it. So when they're speaking English, it's English with a Russian accent, but then they're speaking Russian and they're speaking English with an English accent, and it's like. And that happens all the time. Like there's that movie about, literally it's a movie about Nazis and they all have English accents. And it's like,
I mean, I don't know. There's something about a new accent. When you were talking to me the other day about how Elf and I both do the like slightly English RP voice.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because like we were always taught that that's how evil people talk.
Well, so that's and that's the thing I've noticed. And DMs at home, DMs and Dungeons and Dragons players at home, you can keep an ear out for this when you're playing with your fellow players. There is a voice that people do, and it probably doesn't happen so much in the UK because you all kind of sound like this to begin with. But in North America, people who play Dungeons and Dragons, especially for the first time or who are still figuring out their characters, they have an RP voice that they do that's just like slightly English. Like it's just their own voice, but like a little bit English.
You just gotta do your best Grand Moff Tarkin impression.
Right. And it's like there's variations of, because you're like, well, what do I know about my character? Like it's like there's an alignment accent that colors the sort of Englishness that you do.
Oh, Leander was
Yeah, like it happens in D&D, it happens in TV shows. It's just like a thing. It's like the fantasy accent. It's weird. Yeah.
It was like when we were watching Dragon Prince, and there were those like elves that have the Scottish accents, but the actors are horrible at them.
It was a DJ Wheat Scottish accent is what it was.
It was so like, bad. I love Voltron, the new one.
Yeah.
But the accent of Princess Allura, you should not have done that.
Yeah. Listen, anyone who watched the first 2 episodes of the show, there is no glass house thrown, like, that's not happening here. I know. I do it on purpose. My characters sound like that on purpose. But like, yeah, there is this kind of RP accent, and it's like it's kind of funny, like seeing everybody does it, where they're just like, okay, well, it's like a fantasy game, so like, well met there. Put down your sword, and you're like, it's well, okay, that's cool.
I think like Arcturus definitely had one. But like, I feel like I just didn't know what I was doing yet with Macaria, and so I just like fell back into the Arcturus voice.
Well, that's a fun thing about watching early shows where people are role playing, is that like the accents will change and the character will like kind of move around a little bit until people settle, and then they really settle in. And if you watch episode 40 versus episode 1 of a show, if the characters are the same, they're gonna sound different, they're gonna feel different, which I think is really cool. I think it's cool being able to like watch people kind of workshop as they play, because I don't know that I've ever come to the table and been like, cool, this character is done already, he's perfect, I know exactly what he sounds like. Yeah So there you go. Cool. Well, now you can do a modulated version of your RP accent, Lauren. I'm excited. So you're doing Stargate. What are the other games that you're getting set up to run?
Stargate, I'm just doing one called the Good Society game, the Jane Austen RPG.
That's right.
They're just released their Sensibility and Swordsmanship.
Right.
So we're doing that one. That just started on Tuesday, and then the third one is the Cipher System by Monte Cook Games.
Right.
The straight setting.
Cool. There's so many good games to play, and I love that there's like so many people playing these. Like they're just like, I'm gonna play this game, and you can check out what it's like. And like I remember back in the day where you couldn't watch people play games on the internet, and you just have to read it and then argue with people on RPGNet about what the game was supposed to be like. And now you can just watch people, and it's so cool. Thank you for doing that. And I'm
very excited.
I feel the prep weight. I feel it. I'm right there with you.
Ready to get them done.
Yeah. Let's go. Yeah, there's an interesting, I find, at least in the campaigns that I play, there's an interesting arc of like enthusiasm where I'm really excited when we're doing the planning stuff, and I'm super excited during character creation, and then my enthusiasm turns to like terror right before the first episode, where I'm like, oh god, now we have to make all these pieces fun, and then you get used to it some episodes in. Yeah, it's there's an arc about that.
For me, there's also the frustration well of everything is the worst and why am I doing this after I've sent out the like 5th doodle and I can't get responses.
Yeah, fair.
That happens.
Yeah, light those players on fire. Just immolate them, and not their characters, but the players. Go to their house
themselves,
and just with an Elon Musk flamethrower and be like, "Listen, you're out of the game." Just torch them.
I think I can make that happen. I know someone who has a flamethrower.
Yeah, see, problem solved. These are the kinds of people that we know.
2018. I know someone who has a flamethrower.
Yeah.
She has multiple flamethrowers. She's real cool. One of them is a flaming guitar. Just anyway.
That's a form of flamethrower. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. It's great.
All right, let's play some Dungeons and Dragons. So I will let you, because it's still only the 3rd episode, I'll let you do the traditional telling us about your character, because everybody's level 2 now. What is everybody playing? Elf, why don't you start us off?
Oh yes, I am playing Rin Stillwater, the level 2 bard. She's very stern so far, and falls over a lot, gets hit by things.
That's true. You have I haven't been tracking, but I can say with definite certainty you have the most knockouts.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah, you have the most knockouts of everybody in the party so far.
So,
yeah.
That's so far. That's
cool.
That's the
all right. Lauren, who are you playing? What's your character?
I am playing the Stabby Tabby, Jewel on the far coast.
Mm-hmm.
She is a Tabaxi rogue, and I now got that sweet bonus action.
That's right. Yeah, the leap between 1st level rogue and 2nd level rogue is like you're almost a real person now, and now you have
ready to be able to do things.
Yeah, 1st level rogue's a hard life. That's a real hard life, and I think that lineage goes all the way back to basic D&D, where if you played a thief, you have made the wrong choice. It is like you're like not as good as a fighter or a wizard or a cleric, and you have to play it on hard mode.
Excuse me. My thief was the only character that survived that campaign.
Yes, that's true. That's very true, Dave.
He was the best.
That's true.
Did you steal life from the others?
No, you just used a bow so you didn't get hit.
Yeah.
I am considering moving into ranged rogue, but we have 2 ranged casters, so I feel like
ranged only works if you're the only one doing it, or there's Well, Dave, we'll talk about it. I'm gonna save your character for last because I want to talk about a rules adjustment for you. Blue Jay, tell us about Makaria.
Makaria is Makaria Rada. She is a level 2 cleric, half elf cleric of Merkel. Been hiding out as a acolyte of Kelemvor. And I got the ability to curse people now. So I can mark another creature's life force for termination. 8.
Nice.
I'm going to be like, that person that 8 is fighting.
Right. And then you roll a charisma save. And then if you succeed, Arnold Schwarzenegger busts through the wall with a shotgun.
Perfect.
Speaking of Terminators, Dave, would you like to tell us about your character?
Yeah. So 8. Oh, I didn't change the level. Hold on. There you go. I fixed the sheet now. Is level 2 fighter. Warforged, the best race of all races in D&D ever.
All right. Okay. I have a feeling that humans would disagree with you, but that's okay.
That was cool.
So there was some debate. There was some debate, not about whether or not Warforged are the best, but about how to calculate your armor class, given that you are a Warforged fighter. So I'm gonna just pop over to the thing. We'll take a quick look at your character sheet and we'll discuss that. So for folks who are not familiar necessarily, who are not as driven to play robot warriors in Dungeons and Dragons, the Warforged is from
The Wayfinder's Guide to Eberron.
Okay. All right. Which is a recent DM's Guild supplement. I also love both Eberron and the Warforged, so I was excited when Dave wanted to play one. And they have a natural armor ability, yeah?
Yeah, it's called Integrated Protection.
Okay. And how does that work?
So, do you want me to just read it and then?
Yeah, please.
I'm confused. So the body has built-in defensive layers which determine your armor class. You gain no benefit from wearing armor, but if you're using a shield, you apply its bonus as normal. Is the relevant part of that.
Right. And does this go up by level, or is it based on your like your armor proficiency?
It starts at a flat number and adds your proficiency bonus, which is the only thing, as far as I'm aware, that does that in the game.
Okay. So it starts at a certain number, you add your proficiency, which would give you an armor class of...
So the heavy armor that I'm starting with is 16 plus 2.
Okay, so you start with 18. And then the reason that folks were confused is you have a shield, which brings you up to 20. Yep. And then there is a fighter ability that is based on defense, right?
Yeah, the fighting style defense is when you're wearing armor, add +1 to AC.
Right. And so the question was, does a Warforged count as wearing armor? Because it requires the ability to use armor to get the full advantage of the internal plating, right? That's how that works. So because you have a proficiency in heavy armor, you get the highest of the bonus. So Dave and I talked about this a little bit, and yeah, because the Warforged specifically calls out that you get this bonus, and it's not armor, that defense would not give you the extra bonus because you're not wearing armor. So we're gonna let Dave switch out that fighter style for something else.
Yeah, and I just changed it for duelist because that's the only one that's gonna be relevant.
Okay, cool. So you're gonna change it for duelist, which all that really does mechanically is reduce your armor class from 21 to 20.
Yeah, and increases my damage with my sword from +5 to +7.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so it just tips you slightly in favor of offense instead of defense. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I just wanted to like walk through that for folks who were asking about it last time. But 20 armor class at second level is nothing to scoff at.
The good thing is I'll be able to, since the ruling is this way, if we ever find braces of defense, I will be able to wear those. Mm-hmm. Very wood, which is nice.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So the last time that we visited Waterdeep, you had saved the life of the noble and charming and lovely and attractive and sometimes rich but not usually Floon Blagmar of the Waterdeep Blagmars, friend to many, lover to more, and you returned him in reasonably good shape to the Yawning Portal, where you were rewarded for your hard labors by Volothamp, famed explorer and author Volothamp Gedarm. So Volo promised you money, but gave you something better. You were given the deed to a piece of Waterdavian property called Troll Skull Manor. And after a short trip to the notary public, which is different than a banana republic, you now are in possession of the deed, and it is signed over. Now, who's
is it signed over to everyone?
Whose name? So here's the question: who paid the notary? Listen, you can't own. I don't think you can own property.
I can here.
Can you?
Unlike where I'm from, I am allowed to own property. I've decided I'm allowed to. Therefore, I want it.
Okay. All right.
I'll fight everyone else.
Okay.
So
I'll fight you.
I mean, I think it's reasonable.
Will isn't into property.
Waterdeep. Nice. Waterdeep is a cosmopolitan city. I think it would be reasonable that if you could prove your sentience, that they would. I'm tempted to make you roll for the Turing test, but I won't do that.
I mean, Elf wants it, so there needs to be some kind of discussion.
But I think you can. I mean, a deed can belong to more than one person. You can have more than one person.
But then you're stuck.
Here's the thing. I like how Makari is getting cold feet about this relationship. So, let me see. There is there's a fee. So the real question is, who pays the notary? In which case, your name is on the thing.
How much is
the fee?
Let's take a look. It is in it. There's an estate transfer tax of 25 gold pieces.
Shit.
Done.
I just bought a lantern.
Done. Motherfucking done. I go down to 0 gold.
Eight looks done. 8 looks ruefully at his brand new lantern.
Does his face go orange? Does eyes go orange?
They go red for anger.
Oh no, not sadness.
Do you crush your new lantern in your hand?
I think Makaria is of the opinion that if she were to like own the property, it would actually be owned by the church.
Right. Yeah.
So she does not choose to. She doesn't fight you for it. She probably like says like, well, because I'm an acolyte of Kalimvor.
It's really convincing when you present it that way.
The long part. No, that's how you. It's hard to understand, but if you look at Kalimvor written down on a piece of paper, you have to put 10 to 12 spaces before the K. So the pause is just there for dramatic effect.
Okay,
yeah. Okay, so Rin, are you the sole owner of the deed to Troll Skull
I'll pay
Manor?
25 gold and I'll buy it all on my own.
All right, okay. It sounds like Makaria and 8 can't afford it or choose not to afford it, and Jewel is not so much about owning property.
Do you want in on this property with me?
Owning property just means when you're bored of it, you have to sell it again.
That sounds great. I'll take it.
Okay, fantastic.
So she might give you like 5 gold just for funsies, as long as on the condition like, can I explore this strange new, probably haunted mansion?
Of course.
She just slides 5 gold pieces over the table to you. I humbly request that you allow me to create a graveyard in your new manor area.
We will humbly figure that shit out later.
Rin, are you going to collect rent from these slackers? Or
Look, we'll all figure it out. It's not a problem. We need to have it. If somebody's going to have it.
You owe me 100 gold.
No, I don't.
So people don't know this. This is a little bit of behind the scenes like background information about the adventure. The original name of this adventure was Waterdeep Slumlord, and this was it. You would just fight over who owns Troll Skull Manor, and then figure out how to maximize profit.
It has manor in its name. If I didn't buy it, I would be remiss. Okay,
that's true.
Well, I mean, do you think they already have a graveyard? For no good reason, I really want to have access to some corpses.
What I will tell you, Makaria, is that we've heard that it's haunted. So hopefully that's good enough.
Well, let's take a visit. Let's take a visit to Troll Skull Manor. Okay. I will take you on over there.
Rad. So I feel like in a few levels I'll really be able to use some corpses is all I'm saying.
You can talk about corpse storage later. So you get your deed signed. Valo and Floon insist on accompanying you. And I think that we fade in.
Oh God, Floon is here.
We fade in on a scene of Rin, and you have your eyes closed. And you're being led. Actually, all of you do, and this is much at their insistence. Like, okay, don't look, and they have led you into.
No one touches me.
Yeah, that's fine. No one's trying to touch you. They've led you into like a yard or something, and they have said. So we fade in on the group of you, either with your eyes closed or turned off, as its case may be, and Valo says, "All right. Open your eyes," and he gestures, and you see him gesturing widely at the grand opulence of Troll Skull Manor. So I've given you a handout.
I love it.
You can see it.
There's ravens, so Rin is like into it.
So Valo like gestures, and he's like, "What do you think?"
Boards instead of flimsy glass for increased defensive. I approve of this choice.
I suppose if you want to keep the boards, you could, but the neighborhood, it's very nice. All of your neighbors, they're wonderful people. You shouldn't have to defend it from anybody.
Yes.
Yeah, so Troll Skull Manor lies before you.
It is a sight to behold. Certainly.
And he says to you, well, you have the keys, you have the deed, and it's been a long day. So gonna take my friend Floon here, and he gestures and he says, and we're gonna go back to business. So take a look around. Goodbye. And he's like he wants to get out of here before you go inside. He's like backing away.
I feel like I want to like reach out and grab his shoulder and be like, oh, not so fast. Not so fast.
Yeah. So you grab him and he's like, what is it? What? Don't you want to get inside?
Why don't you give me the tour? Show me what I've purchased. You owned it before.
Well, you see, you can see him dissembling. Would you like to make an insight check?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know about that. Yeah, and you get the impression that he just he just wants to kind of like get out of here because he's embarrassed that it's crap.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I let go of his shoulder and I go like, all right, I'll do it myself then. And
he says, good. Well, have a nice time. And he gestures like to the house. He's like, come on, Floon. And Floon, with a flourish, bows to you, and he says, I thank you again for rescuing me from that terrible dungeon.
You're most welcome.
I hope that I will see all of you again very soon. Enjoy your new home, and welcome to Waterdeep.
I wait until he's like out of ear.
Yeah, the two of them walk away back out onto the street, and
I say, like, is there any way to ward the house against him specifically?
Ward against Floon.
Set up some sort of trap, like one of those water buckets.
The only problem with warding the house against Floon is that any of the possible entrance of the house could be named Floon at any point. So
that's true.
That's okay.
Yeah, there are a lot of Floons in Waterdeep.
Can't ward the house against Floon. Well, all right, we may as well check it out.
Okay,
we're here.
So I hope there's a graveyard somewhere.
You stand at the somewhat battered front door of Trollskull Manor. Now, Trollskull Manor is 4 stories tall, boasts balconies, a turret, and 5 chimneys. And looking around, it is 5 chimneys. The abandoned building is one of the grandest in Trollskull Alley. You look around, it's 2 stories taller than all of the other. We can explore the neighborhood later, but if it weren't a total piece of crap, it would be pretty great. But as you can see, it's fallen on some hard times.
I feel like you could say that about anything. If it were a piece of crap, it would be great.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
I want to go here in real life, but Makaria is less impressed than Blue Jay is.
Yeah. Okay, so what are you gonna do?
All right, well, I guess I go inside, Adam.
Pop the front door and wander in. All right, cool. So go ahead and head on in there.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
Are you blind? Did I blind you again? It's Makaria.
Is this like a bar?
There you go. Sorry, I took away your dark vision for some reason. Let me fix you. All right.
It goes up and it goes down as well.
There you go. So you should be able to see now going in. All right. So when you walk into a tap room. So this is it's like a tavern basically down here. There's broken furniture, tarnished silverware, rat excrement, casks of wine that have broken open and smell of vinegar, worthless detritus as far as you can see.
Good.
Dust everywhere. Yeah, it's fantastic. And there are tables. There's a bar over on this side. This in the center here is that's a chimney. There's a big hearth. There's garbage in the hearth, like just thrown in there, like broken.
Well, it was lovely of them to leave so much firewood around.
I mean, you could describe the whole house as being firewood.
I was gonna make that joke in character. God damn it, Adam.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess the main room looks looks a little worse for wear. Certainly.
Is it common for people to make the entrance to their home a bar.
No, but it does present opportunities later if we can get this place looking all right. That we might be able to make some money.
The neighbors didn't like the people who lived here.
Maybe not.
I found a trapdoor.
Ooh.
You did. It's true.
Jewel scampers over.
Mm-hmm.
What's inside?
Well, you'll have to open it to find out.
I'm opening the trapdoor.
Yeah, you want to take a look in there?
What's behind that trapdoor?
Okay.
And is that a thing for anyone else? Did anyone else get that show?
I don't think so. I don't know about this.
It was amazing. It was one of those ones where they decided actually animating things out of clay was great for a while.
So eight disappears down below the building. Now down here, 8 is a relatively smallish, carved from stone. Like the walls are stone. There's some somewhat rotted wooden beams holding it up, and it looks like it's a cellar. So there's a wine rack full of broken bottles and dusty, inexpensive wine, and then a bunch more ale places where you would put ale casks, but no casks of which to speak. And I think upstairs, did you want to follow Jewel, or are you just looking down into the?
Yeah, she probably peers down. And
can you make a dexterity save?
Yes.
Peering down into the trap.
Funny.
Okay, the trapdoor snaps shut. You are fast enough to leap back, but it just goes bang and snaps shut.
Wait.
It is, yeah.
8, are you stuck?
Why? What are you?
The door is shut. The door is closed. Did 8 bring a light with it?
I suppose not. Oh, you did? You have your new lantern? Okay.
Can I don't know if this would work for, you said it was haunted.
Yeah, I mean, there was a rumor that it might be haunted. Yeah.
But I don't know if this
okay.
I can sense the presence of undead or
as an action, you can open your awareness to magically detect undead.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if.
So you use that ability?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have. Oh.
You see, it's from the waist up. From the waist down, it's just mist and spirals. But from the waist up, you see a half elf, sort of a middle age. It's hard to tell with half elves. A middle aged half elf, maybe about your age, a little older. And he's wearing an apron that dissolves into his sort of ectoplasm at the waist. He has a plaid shirt rolled up at the sleeves, and he's a big handlebar mustache. And he's got both his hands on the trapdoor, and is scowling at Jewel, but no one else can see it. Only Makaria.
Yeah, Makaria was sitting at the bar, and then she's remembers that she heard that the place was haunted and concentrates a little bit to whatever, and then she opens her eyes again and sees this ghost. And I don't know if this has happened before. I don't think that she often cares if people are either dead or they're not in her experience. So she probably takes a second where she's just looking at him, and then she's clears her throat loudly in his direction.
Yeah, and he turns around and looks at you, and he sees all kind of purple and see-through, and he looks at you and he scowls, and he picks up a cup off the desk, and you see it, both Jewel and Rin. You see this cup lift off the ground, fly back, and then fly at Makaria's face. Makaria, make a dexterity save.
Okay. Ow.
What'd you get?
I don't know.
An 11. Okay, so you duck, and it flies over your head and smashes against the wall, and he stares at you and then disappears.
What was that for?
And it's not that he disappears, it's just that your ability fades after a turn.
Because it's a turn.
What happened?
I think there's a bartender that doesn't. There's a bartender.
Are they invisible?
So it is haunted, is what you're saying.
Oh, they're dead. I mean, maybe. It definitely felt very not alive. Yes.
There are no giant rats. I was led to believe there would be giant rats.
Are there any giant rats down there?
I mean, he certainly
That's what I just said.
You're hard to hear.
Out loud to the air, I say, I just wanted to drink. Isn't that... don't have to throw things at me.
So I have no way of locating this ghost. And so I figure I'll leave the ghost problem to our dear friend Cleric McGhostface over here. And just cast a spell and just start cleaning up. I'm just gonna cast Unseen Servant at him and just tell it to start cleaning up.
Wait, you have an unseen servant?
Yeah,
that makes perfect sense.
That's so cool.
How long does
it lasts for an hour?
An hour, okay.
And it'll do what I tell it.
Okay, it's definitely gonna take more than one person and more than 1 hour to tidy this place, but you can get a start on it for sure.
There it is.
Okay.
That's so cool.
So the deal with this is I can cast it as a ritual. So what I kind of want to do, I don't want to burn a spell slot if I can avoid it. So I'm gonna like prepare to cast it, and if I don't get interrupted by this ghost being an asshole, then great. If I do, that's fine too.
Jewel, do you want to try to
open the trap door?
Okay, yeah, it's not locked. It just got slammed shut.
If you don't mind, whomever you are, I wouldn't mind a drink. I mean,
do you want to get out?
Yes, it's boring down here.
Is there a ladder? Or do you have to climb?
There's a ladder. He can just climb up. Yeah.
Is there any beverages down there?
Oh yeah, bring some alcohol with you.
So I mean, there are definitely beverage containers down there. Yes.
I mean, we could.
Does 8 understand the concept of food going off?
No, I don't. I mean, that's up to you, but I doubt it.
I'll bring some barrels. I found some barrels, and I'll just pick up 2.
I thought they were empty.
No, they're not all empty.
Oh, okay, cool.
Bring them out. I'm stuck here.
Yes, you are. I'll lift you back out of there.
Got some barrels.
Okay.
Here you go, everyone.
A whole barrel.
So he comes back out holding a big oak like barrel with a cork jammed in it.
I again say to the room, do you want to handle this or should I?
Who are you talking to?
I think it's a ghost. Bartender. Ghost bartender. Ghost tender.
Also, when you come up here, this is funny. So you're like, I think there's a ghost. And 8, you see a spectral force like picking up tables and writing them, setting chairs up, moving a broom around. And it's like happening right behind Makaria.
No, it still takes me 10 minutes to cast it as a ritual.
I think it's reasonable to have it in the scene. Yeah, there's no time.
Once it's summoned, I would just like to say that Rin is very polite with it. Like, if it's all right with you, I would prefer if you tidy up this room, make sure that everything is set straight, get rid of the garbage, that sort of thing.
Yeah, 8, you missed all of that. So you see the ghost Makaria is talking about, and it's like cleaning up the place.
Oh. I was sort of looking forward to doing that myself. That's fine.
I'm sure it could use some assistance. Oh, you mean the bartender? What was your...
What?
Huh?
What?
I can see that you're confused. The creature currently tidying up is not the ghost in question. That would be my unseen servant. His name is Alistair. He's very good. Now,
what is the difference?
Well, one is under my control and the other is not.
What if you captured a ghost?
A ghost was formerly living? The unseen servant was not. Or is currently living. I don't know.
Does everyone turn into a ghost when they die?
I don't know that either.
Except for you, I think.
I mean, if you want to make Makaria, if you want to make a religion check, you could actually answer that question.
I would love to know if everyone turns into a ghost when they die. See if I know. If I had 11.
So what you know is that usually ghosts and spirits and specters either like tragedy or magic force them to stay here, because otherwise your soul gets scooped up by whatever god you serve and you go to their afterlife.
Okay, so I would tell ordinarily, when one dies, the god one served, you then serve them again in the afterlife. But sometimes magic interferes or people are sad, I guess. So they stay. I don't know what happened with the bartender. They didn't have any legs, but that could just be a ghost thing.
This is all very confusing and bringing up more questions than it is answering. I'm going to start cleaning.
Okay.
Is there more to this place? Is there more house?
There's several floors. Yeah, there's some stairs back here.
Is the bartender going to tap that cask, or should I?
There seems to be no response.
Ugh, can't even do anything simple. I don't know if that I've ever tapped a cask, so I don't think that I could do that.
Okay, make a
what's a
roll of some kind.
Investigation check.
I think. Well, I mean, it's just like you're trying to do something you haven't done before.
Sleight of hand.
I think it's probably just a dexterity.
Yeah.
Check.
Okay.
Just a flat dexterity check.
I'm dexterous for now.
Okay. Yeah. You're able to. So you get the cork out. A terrible sour smell assails your nose when you pop the cork out of the keg. It smells awful.
How old is this? 8. Where did it go? This is off.
I don't care, actually. I did it as a favor, and if you don't want it, then that's fine.
I like to keep sniffing it and see if it
it's not going to get better. No.
Yeah. God damn it. Fine.
It's fairly understandable that there's going to need to be new supply, I think.
Fine.
I'm going to check out the rest of this place.
Okay. All right. Here. Well, I guess I'll just leave it for the bartender. This is for you.
During this, Jewel definitely just left. Like she got very bored in this conversation and was like, there's an entire manor to search.
Yeah. So you went upstairs?
Yeah, definitely. Wherever it seemed most interesting.
Yeah.
Where is the upstairs?
I can't judge by the map. I can see the stairs. Like here, I'll pull you outside so you can see them. But like I see the stairs, but I'm not entirely certain how to interpret like that as the stairs.
Outside of the building?
Yeah. Like I guess they're outside. Like I think you have to leave the house, go around the back, and then the second and third floor
like maybe
are
the
a house.
Tavern. Yeah, maybe the tavern doesn't have access to the rest of the house.
So back here, out there, these are the stairs to go. That must be it. Yeah, the tap room is one thing, and you can't get from the tap room to the house. You have to go in through the back end. Yep. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay. All right. So you ascend the back stairs, and you find yourselves in a common room. So this room is empty. It has like the walls are a dull gray with like a slightly lighter gray section of like squares where paintings used to hang. You can see the marks on the wooden floor, the scuffed wooden floor where a table used to be and chairs used to sit.
By the way, I've brought the unseen servant with me and told him to tidy as we go because he can't be more than 60 feet away from me. Otherwise, he disappears.
Right. Yeah. And I'm just gonna open all the doors for you so you can come and go as you please.
What's ooh hello? There's a tower.
Yeah, so the den, this area, I think on one wall it has a rotting animal like head, like an elk's head or something, over the door when you first come in. So like it's the taxidermies all come apart. There's like stuffing coming out of its face in sort of a grisly display. Yeah, and then the tower has they're all boarded up. So this room has it's kind of like the room at the end of Blade Runner with all the pigeons in it. So it's just like the floor is covered in bird shit. There are a few pieces of furniture. The place smells awful and acrid. The windows are all boarded up, and the wan sunlight of the morning is coming in through the windows. So there's this very aggressive kind of slatted light that fills this area.
Gross.
Yeah, and you startle a bunch of birds, which like flap around in the upper part of the tower.
Well,
balcony.
Yep, yeah. There's a balcony out here with lots of like busted wooden slats, but you can see out into the alley. What's the name of it's? Oh, wow. Okay, so this is an indicator of how important this building is. You can see from the balcony if you look out, there is a street sign indicating that you have entered Troll Skull Alley. So the street is named after your house.
Or the house is named after the street.
It is the inverse.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I go out on the balcony, can I see into the yard?
I don't think there is a yard. I think like medieval manors and stuff kind of predate the modern idea of having like a yard.
There's no graveyard then.
You'd have an area if you opened, like if you had a wall around your estate, you might have like an open area, a lawn. But I don't think that there's a yard for this building. I think you just see the alleys around your house.
I take the rotted head and I go out onto the balcony and I just yeet it as far as I
can. Okay, make an athletics check.
You're just tossing it onto the street.
This elk dead. Yeet! And throw it as hard as you can.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Doesn't go very far. It lands in the street, and you startle a bunch of laborers who are bringing a wagon through the alley. So like, ah! And they look up and they see this construct who just threw a dead animal head at them, and then they run off. They're like, "Let's go!" And they run.
I found that particular decoration distasteful.
All right. So,
wanders down the hallway.
Rin, you have found your way into what appears to be the first bedroom. These little horseshoe-shaped dealies, those are the chimneys, or the fireplaces, the hearth. Yeah. And like many medieval places, because this hearth is out, you can see past the debris and the mountain of ash into the spare room. So they share a hearth.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you can get in between the two from there.
All right, bedroom number 1.
Yeah, Jewel just crawls through the hearth.
Yeah, okay. You come out the other side covered in ash.
Yeah.
Like just because it's like it hasn't been cleaned in a long time, and so you crawl through this, and so you're leaving these big ashy like cat paw like prints on the floor as you walk into the spare room.
Look, it was more efficient.
Yeah, the spare room used to have a big rug or something, but it's worn all the way through in many places. So if you held it up, it would look like a slice of kind of gray Swiss cheese. It used to be a beautiful rug, but it's worn down in places.
She wipes her paws off on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, there's another set of stairs. So
you want to head up to the next floor?
Head on upstairs.
All right.
I happen to notice there's nothing in the code of law of Waterdeep about littering, so you can just chuck all this stuff in the street.
Dude, it's a medieval city. Littering was like the name of the game. You gotta poop out the window. No one cares.
I'm just gonna throw like broken chairs across the city.
Hurling your garbage out into the street. That's what we pay taxes for. Pick up my trash from the street. Peons.
As we explore, am I supposed to maintain what I see in here?
I don't know.
I don't
know if
I can't see.
If it isn't, I'll turn on the. Fog of War is not currently on. Let me turn it on for you. Okay, there you go. So now, when you explore, it should stick around. So let me.
It's our house.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna stop jiggling. I gotta stop moving. I'm trying to. Oh God, I hate you guys. I'm trying to get you onto the next floor. Jesus.
I was trying to see.
Same.
I know what you were doing. I'm just trying to help you get to the next floor. All right. So you go up the stairs from this room, and you find yourselves up on the next floor. So there's another set of stairs that go up to the top, and then from here there are several more rooms to explore. The little square ones, when you open them, they are small rooms with a wooden board at about knee height with a hole in it and a cover on top of said hole.
That's a toilet.
It is. Yes. It's not a toilet though, because there's not.
It's a pit latrine.
It's a hole and then there's there's a drawer that you pull out underneath.
It's a privy.
Yes, it's a privy. Because if you notice, the third floor and the common room are just one above the other. So
can't go all the way down. Before got turned off again.
This is my favorite room. What's in it?
The tower. There's a desk by the window. And when you open the door to come in, there's a big black raven just like sitting on the desk. And unlike the pigeons, it doesn't fly off. It just cocks its head at you like, get out of my office. It just looks at you.
Okay. I go out to touch it.
Yeah. And it just like puffs up its feathers and like
I really
opens its beak.
I do the same. I just get really big.
Do you want to try and like shoo it off?
I just want to be friends with it, but
okay.
I think that's what we're doing. Like, getting big is the thing that we do. So
I think it's reasonable for you to try to make friends with this raven here. Make an animal handling check.
All right.
We'll say DC 15. This is a gnarly raven.
Oh,
okay, he bites your finger, so he just like snaps out at your finger when you go to like put your hand out to him. And squawks at you.
Everything okay in there, 8?
I'm coming to you. 8.
Yeah, you hear a loud bird noise.
So, standing in the doorway, do I just see this raven clomped onto the finger?
It just snaps out and like nips at him. It's not like holding on.
Like, I think you might have disturbed it.
It's my house.
Well, it's my house, actually.
My house.
But and like looks up at you like, oh, another one. You want some too?
Yeah, and I have a trait for this, Adam.
Okay.
Because it's a raven.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on. Let me find it. Do I have it written down anywhere for my background?
Let me dig through my backstory.
I should, but I don't. I will look it up. Hang on.
All right. That's fine. Moment. So while the two of you are in the writing turret, everybody else is having a look around?
Yeah, I'm looking in this room.
Okay.
I thought for sure I had. Yeah.
So, Makaria, when you come into this room, the walls in here are covered in what might have at some point been readable books, but now because the windows are broken and because it was a rainy spring, all of the books are like swollen together on the shelf. So if you try to take one down, like 6 of them come out and they all crumble and like break, and the leather of the cover is all rotted together. The books are unsalvageable, but this used to be a library at one point. The shelves are built into the walls.
I do the thing where I like go for a book and then like it just
yeah, it just comes apart in your hand. Yeah.
Oh.
Jewel, you have found your way into the master bedroom and private bath. So the private bath has like a big stone. I guess it wouldn't be stone because that'd be really hard to heat up. It'd be like metal, I guess. A big, very rusty, very tarnished. Maybe it used to be bronze or copper bathtub in the shape of a whale. And it is, gross. And in the bottom of it, there's like 2 or 3 inches of very murky, like scum covered bath water. And I think you see when you come in, you see something swimming around in it. There's a bunch of like melted candles all along the edge of the bathtub, where they've just kind of like melted and they've stuck more candles and it's all melted down into this gross, waxy mess. And like everything else, a thick layer of dust.
I found it.
Okay.
So I have this trait for my polymorphed background.
Nice.
Kindred spirit. Non-hostile creatures of the same type as your polymorphed form are inclined to like you. These creatures might help guide you to a place if they know its location and provide you with shelter or shield you from danger, provided they aren't put directly in harm's way.
Nice. I was really happy that the person that posted that in chat too was Ink Corvid.
Yeah.
So your helpful friend was a bird. Yeah. Okay. So what does that look like? So you come in and this thing is all like get out of here. You're annoying me. This is my room. Go away.
I think my first move is just to be like try and separate the two of them a little bit, like remove finger from mouth and vice versa.
Yep.
You know? Okay. And then I sort of like look between them as if they are completely equal in terms of their ability to understand me. Mm-hmm. Take that as you will.
Yeah.
And I say, there's plenty of room for everyone. This is a very large estate. We don't need to bother each other. Yes? We can get along.
And kind of like cocks its head one way.
I've been in your position.
The other. Kind of like ruffle, like and it preens some of its feathers that got put out of the way.
Pointing at it. I've been in your position. I know what it's like when people get in your way and invade your space. You don't want them there. It's fine. You can stay here. We'll be back. We have to look around. All right?
The raven takes this as a win and looks imperiously at you like, damn right. Like,
I'm going to guess that bedroom then, it will be Elf's bedroom. Elf and the raven hanging out.
This is a turret. I don't want to sleep here.
Well, it's attached to a bedroom.
What?
Yeah, this is a fireplace.
Yeah.
Oh shit! It totally is. Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is. Maybe it's your closet.
So that's the second private bath. Here, I'll add the layer where you can see what each thing is.
Oh, cool.
So that's a private bath that you've discovered there. Same thing, less ostentatious than the other one. This one is more like sort of a wash basin shaped, like a circular bath that you'd have to sit in with your knees up. But still, made out of now very tarnished copper, and ready for an occupant.
All right.
From here, there is one last floor up above.
There is indeed. So, I'm going there.
Okay, here, let me.
Yeah, let's all go upstairs. Upstairs.
Okay. 1 second. Okay.
Raven gets its own desk. Yes.
Well, obviously.
Okay. And Lauren, you were saying you're having trouble seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you just have no sight at all?
I can see some stuff. It seems better now, but I'd lost. I would go back to an area and it was still grayed out.
Okay, I'll just move you around and stuff. So you'll see it grayed out when you're not in it. When it's outside of your view.
Yeah, I was doing that even when I was in it, which is weird.
Yeah.
Refresh.
It's okay. All right. Yeah, doing a refresh might help. Okay, let me take y'all upstairs. So there's one last set of stairs that you can move up to, and you can climb up there. Up here is a narrow hallway. Hallway. With two doors, one on either side. So let's clear those out of your way. There you go. So this is the attic. You've reached the attic up here, and this is just like jam packed with garbage, like things that the prior owners just never bothered to take out. So just like boxes and broken furniture, and you can barely get past the front door. You like push it open and then you have to shove it to sneak into the rooms, and then you look around up here and it's just trash. And then this other room is a bedroom. So for someone who wants to live isolated up in the attic,
all the way at the top.
Yeah, you have that option.
I'm tempted to either live isolated in the attic or be afraid of heights. I feel like you may also be like a master bedroom. Like yes. Like I feel like Makaria would try for the master bedroom. I think Jewel might be kind of happy in the attic. Oh yeah.
There's so much stuff in the other room.
And then you could go to the roof because you're a cat and you're good at climbing. So you could just like climb up on the roof to get in your room. I think we're probably like this in character discussion is happening where I'm just like, well, if we're to live here, I don't, and I'm like peeking out the thing. I'm like, I don't know if I'd want to be, what if the whole thing comes down? Then you'd be on top of the pile of rubble as opposed to on the bottom of it. And then she makes like a weird into the other room, like there's so much stuff here.
Yeah, massive piles
By
of
the
garbage.
way, as we've been walking through, the unseen servant has been like fixing picture frames and like dusting carpets and like just as we've been going.
Mm-hmm.
Not well. They're just like a person, you know, in terms of their ability to do stuff.
Well, and they can't finish anything because
I keep moving.
Yeah, because you keep moving them. Fantastic.
Well, are we going to stay here?
What do you mean?
I mean, this place is a wreck.
No, it's our house now.
Well, it will take some time to repair, but yes, I think that is the idea.
Yes.
I suppose it's better than living with those Kelmvorites. I mean, you know already. And she like she's just like she was gonna pretend that she was one, and then she just like
you've just given up all pretense now.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. All right, cool. Well, so you've had a chance to look around your house a little bit. Let's take our first break here, and when we get back, you can decide about what the plan is for the house, or you can go and explore the neighborhood if you'd like. You should be able to move around from floor to floor now if you want to explore. We'll take a short break, and when we get back, we'll continue with today's episode. Don't go anywhere. Dive into a twisted maze of schemes and villainy as you race to claim the legendary fortune hidden somewhere in Waterdeep. Roll20's full digital conversion of Waterdeep Dragon Heist features 4 possible story paths, immersive features like dynamic lighting on all battle maps, and character sheets with one-click actions. Switch between story paths with the click of a mouse and enjoy the complete contents of this thrilling new Dungeons & Dragons adventure. Grab Waterdeep Dragon Heist today on the Roll20 Marketplace. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Going into part 2 of today's episode of Waterdeep House Renovation Edition. Check it out. So there's dragon heisting going on, but that's not that important because right now we have a mansion. Look at this mansion.
So I've just been informed of the best thing ever by chat, which I didn't consider, which is Unseen Servant is not a concentration spell, and I can cast it as a ritual.
Yes.
So in an hour, I could cast 6 of them.
Right.
And then have a whole bunch of Unseen Servants.
So they last an hour. So by the time
they only last an hour. But what I'm saying is you could have a section of time where there are 5 of them within a 10-minute span.
For 10 minutes. Yeah, right. Because otherwise you would have to sit there basically eternally just like recasting it to keep them like renewing. But you could theoretically do that. Awesome.
I mean, I'm just thinking about cleanup crew like strats, and that seems like more of a thing that I would do than actually clean. So
yeah, absolutely.
You know,
soon you'll be able to learn a spell that turns a broom into a servant and carries buckets for you, and then everything's gonna get out of control.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
Yeah. All right. So you have explored Troll Skull Manor. What would you like to do? Where do we see everybody? Is this sort of like, have we taken the rest of the day to tidy, or?
The discussion is had, like, so we're actually living here, right? And like,
let's have that conversation.
Yeah,
like, let's say you're all down in the tap room.
Meet down in the bar. Yeah.
Okay. Even though we have to go outside to get in there.
Yeah, that's fine. Just drag everybody over there.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, this is your house, Rin, but
I'm just gonna like sit on a stool that's like not completely rotted away or busted or what have you.
Yeah.
Purchase. This is your house, Rin, but from what I understand, it was payment to all of us. So are we all living here, or?
We took it in payment. We all agreed to take it in payment, but you're of course welcome to stay here, as any of you are. I'll be trying to sort this place out because, if nothing else, I'd like to get a bit of a return on my investment, so to speak. It was worth some gold. So
I always wanted a house. I've never had a house.
Well, then you're welcome to stay in this one, Aid. Of course.
Take that attic room.
I have also never had a house.
So I point at Jewel. I'm like, attic room? All right, good.
I want the large tub.
Okay, but you have to deal with whatever was in the tub first. Whenever you want to, I guess.
As the biggest creature,
the large tub?
As the biggest, I should have the biggest room.
Well, the common room is plenty large if you want that.
You can't sleep in the common room.
Or the den.
We can.
I mean, you can sleep anywhere, but.
Or there was that bedroom with a spare room. You could just knock out the whole wall.
It's true. You could make 2 rooms into 1 room, and then
you don't eight. You don't need a privy.
Correct.
So having your room on the floor with the privies would make absolutely no sense.
Also, don't need a bath, but I want one. I don't even need a bed. I don't sleep.
So why?
Plug into something? Like what? How do you?
I'm going to take the room with the large bath. And then I think that
this seems like a discussion that the 2 of you can have.
I think she just determines that that's what's happening.
I like that it has now been named Jules' bedroom.
I'll be taking the far top left 3rd floor bedroom.
The one with the bird?
Yes, the one with the bird.
Okay.
Right. That makes sense. I don't want to be in there.
I will kill the bird if required.
Do not kill the bird. I will be most upset with you.
All right.
No need for violence. In that regard. Plenty of other needs for violence.
There's no need for violence for this thing.
Probably going to cost some money for us to renovate this.
8.
What?
I'll challenge you for it.
Don't say things like that. That's how you get your ass killed.
It's called what is it called?
Rock, paper, scissors?
Rock, paper, scissors.
I can't believe you know rock, paper, scissors.
I
forgot! No, it's a fantasy universe. You have to come up with a dumb fantasy name for it. Like, Beholder, Carpet of Smothering Scissors.
Scissors.
Beholder beats scissors.
Yeah, it's gonna be like stone parchment shears.
Right, like it's some silly D&D version of it.
Anyway,
This is very difficult to do on the internet.
Okay. Someone needs to call it. No!
Yes! Okay.
All right, so eight claims the former master bathroom or bedroom.
Fine, I don't like any of you anyway.
Actually, I say I like the idea of the super big room.
You're gonna knock the wall out of the bedroom with the spare room.
Yes.
You're just gonna plow through it.
Smash that.
Smash it real hard.
Okay,
I'm so glad I have you people on my property.
Okay, so Makaria is gonna take the room that you originally wanted.
Yes.
And then
8 will take the one with the spare and then just run through the fucking hearth.
Okay. Yeah, I mean you can't knock that hearth down though, because it's supporting a chimney above it. And like the building, like these chimneys are big and the buildings are like built onto them. So if you were to knock the chimney down, probably part of the top floor would fall in.
Okay, everything but the chimney.
So you'll just have a chimney standing in the middle of your room.
Yes.
Just off to the side, it's fine. It'll be a fire pit in
your
Yes.
Look, if I was going to do this in real life, you would just leave that top part of the wall there and then have it open plan for the rest of it.
Yes. Yeah. That's fine.
You can put like a bookcase in the corner, or
yeah, you could put pillars up. It's fine.
Okay, here. Let me see. Can
I need this floor plan because I need to play the game. I need to play The Sims. Yeah, okay. I need to Can I get a cutout of this so I can make this entire house in The Sims?
Let me draw your new wall plan here. Okay. All right. So you messily begin smashing the crap out of the wall up here.
Yeah.
As soon as we determine bedrooms, Makaria leaves, goes to the temple of Kelmvor that she was living at, takes all of her things, and tells.
Okay, well, so let's play this out. So you just leave. You just fuck off.
Well, I mean, like as soon as this is settled, like this is a discussion we have, and then I say, I'm going to get my things.
All right, I'll keep tidying up here then. Well, Alice,
we're living here. I've never had a house before, so I'm going to get my things in my house.
There's like a horrific noise up above you, and so you walk.
There's a slight wincing from Rin at the yes, break my property.
Well, and Rin, there's a every time you hear a crashing sound, there is like a non-zero chance that the place will fall in on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jules at the top. Before I leave, with Rin saying all right, I turn to the bar and I say, and I'll bring back some wine.
Okay. All right. So you
talking to the ghost that I assume is there.
So you walk out, and Rin, you hear over by the bar, you hear a creaking sound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you want to go?
I'll get up and investigate. Yeah.
So you walk over, and written as though with a fingertip in the dust are the words "Get out."
Oh. Look down at it, and then it's immediately swept away in the cleaning storm that is my unseen servant passing through.
Yeah.
And I look up and I declare openly to the room. I say, "We won't be leaving, so we may as well cooperate. This can be pleasant or unpleasant."
There's no response.
No reply. Yeah. I wasn't really expecting one.
Yeah. So we cut back to Makaria. And Makaria, you open the door and you step out. You went out the window. The door's over here.
Okay.
It's okay. So you step outside onto the veranda.
I jump out the window.
Yeah, you can throw yourself out the window if you wanted.
No, I'm kidding.
And there is like not too much traffic because there's a little alley built around the house that separates you from the larger part of the town. And actually, we should locate your manor on the greater map of Waterdeep.
Yeah.
Now I think it would surprise me greatly if Trollskull Manor is not on here. It's just a question of finding it. Ah, there it is. Trollskull Alley. So you're over here. I will reveal it to you.
What ward? Because this is a very large map.
Yes. Northward.
Northward.
Okay. Northeast Northward. So you're over there. And if we consult Volo's handy Enchiridion, let's see if Volo has anything to say about the North Ward. I mean, he has lots to say about it, but the North Ward contains a temple. North Ward is home to the Holy Hands House, which is a temple that serves like all the deities. It's like a sort of generic holy place. The Hospice of Saint Laupson is in the North Ward. That's sacred to Ilmater, god of suffering. That's the major temple in this ward. And nobles aplenty live in the North Ward, but the character of this ward is more peaceful than that of the Sea Ward. It has taverns and shops to suit a variety of tastes. The tenor of the area tends towards reserved and polite. There goes the neighborhood. So it's like a quiet, kind of rich neighborhood, or was. Though Cliffwatch is a lively part of the area. So you're up here, which means that Trollskull Alley connects to Serdune or Delzorin Street, which would lead you west to the High Road, or out to if you follow Serdune to the east, it'll lead you to the Troll March, which will lead over to Cliffwatch, which is down over here. Where there's lots of, you can imagine lots of like nice views of Undercliff and the Orchard and Meadery down there. So you step out. And it's, I think, probably like relatively early in the day. You were up all night celebrating with Floon and Volo, or went to bed early while they did that. And then you met them in the morning to transfer the deed. So it's early. It's an early summer morning. You step out into the neighborhood around your home, and there is a robed figure standing outside your house, staring up at the house. This person is wearing long scarlet robes, scarlet and red or scarlet and gold robes. They have a bundle of books under one arm, and as you kind of track them, you see their hands, their fingers end in long sort of ivory and gold nails. And they have similarly like sort of ivory and gold skin, a long sort of snout-like face, nostrils from which faint trails of smoke are drifting. They have long, like beautiful ivory horns that curl back under their hair, which comes out from the back of their head, and kind of like they're like almost like tendrils. It's not actually hair, but it's like long, these kind of like long tendrils. They have beautiful amber eyes. And then sitting on top of their snout is a little pair of very delicate gold glasses. And this person is just like looking at your house when you step out.
Yes, hello?
And you just say that from like you're still pretty far away.
Oh, sorry. She would be like, she'd walk out to the street and then see that there's a person in the street that's actually looking at their house and not just like passing by, like they've stopped. And then she'd be like, are you here for Volo? He's not here anymore.
I'm sorry, who?
Then I guess not. Is it something about... Hi, I'm Makaria. I live here now, I guess.
Hello, Makaria. And he bows deeply and gracefully.
She pranes a little bit. She's like,
and says to you, I am Rishal. You live in the manor?
Yes. It's my manor.
Interesting. You are a cleric, yes?
Yes. Yes.
So the deed of the manor has fallen to Kelimvor, a property of the church?
It's no, it's not mine. I just live here. It's my friend's manor. She's not with the church, so.
Ah, I see.
A little deflated, like. Pfft.
And your friend, the sounds inside, I hear. And then there's like bang, and like one of the chunks of balcony just falls off into the street. As 8 continues to destroy the upper floor.
It's like a wood plank flies out a window.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've like taken the boards off the front window so I can more easily just
hurl a chunk of wall. Yeah, so in the street, a big chunk of like wallpaper and like paneling and then like board just comes flying out the window and lands in between the two of you. Rishal does not flinch.
I do. Renovations.
Well, you're a spirited bunch.
Spirits too, yes.
Is that so? I had heard rumors.
Is that why you're here?
No, I was... And he points, and he says, the bookworm. My shop. That way.
Oh, we had a lot of books too. They're ruined.
And he looks like he's just seen like a something that is like just very like sad and touching. Like, you know, when you look at a painting of something and you're just like just it's just this deep sorrow. And he like reaches up and like just wipes like a single tear from one eye and he shakes his head. As you must. And he says to you, as you must understand the way that some people feel about the loss of a family member. For me, each and every book that is gone from this world is a tragedy. I am sorry to hear it.
One just flies up.
Yeah, right. Just like another chunk of wall comes hurling out of the thing. Yeah.
As a acolyte of Kelimvor, I have a different relationship with death than. Anyway, I'm sure some of those books should be replaced.
And he says, yes, if there is anything that you are looking for to renew your library, once your demolitions are complete, please come peruse my hoard.
Do you have any religious texts?
A few? Yes.
Like anything on maybe the history of death gods in this area?
Yes. I have a fine tome on the time of troubles.
Yes, that. I would love to see that. Yes.
And he smiles and he says, I think then we will be good friends. If there are any among you who seek expertise in the arcane arts, I may be of service to them as well.
Sure, yes, right. But do you have it with you?
And he looks down at the books and says, oh, no, these, mostly accounting. And he kind of pats the books.
Well, I have... Where is your shop?
And he just points. He says, you cannot miss it. Just there.
And are you always open, or do you sleep?
I'm sorry?
Your shop, is it open all the time, or do you sleep? Is it still open when you sleep? Do you have other shop? I keep odd hours.
Yes. The shop does hold regular hours, as regular as I can keep them. Perhaps an hour or two less than it used to. I am not a young man, as I once was. But if you ever have a literary emergency. I live just above the shop.
Okay. Well, I'll be back. I have to go. I'll be back. And then she does this and then she just runs.
And he, with a clawed hand, he's like, "Goodbye, neighbor." Then you scramble away.
I want to go shove it in my fellow acolyte's face that I have a cool manner now.
You go back to the orphanage and be like, "Suck it, orphans." So,
yeah, exactly.
I live in a mansion. You suck. It's like this scene with the guy quitting.
Which one? You don't need to know which one. It's fine.
It's a cool one.
You suck. You suck. You suck. You're cool. You suck. If you don't already have inspiration, go ahead and mark it, Makaria.
Well, I do.
So, meanwhile, Jewel, 8, and Rin, 8, we know what you're doing. You're blasting away at the wall. Let's have a roll for you, 8. Roll an athletics check for me, and let's see how good this goes.
Please, dear God, do not collapse my house for your stupid wall.
No promises. Fairly well.
Okay, good. Yeah. So perhaps structurally you do a great job, right? You are designed to crush, kill, and destroy, and you have just crushed and destroyed. You got to do 2 of the 3 things you're programmed for. But it's still a big ragged hole in the wall. So when we see, we fade in on a room full of dust. The dust is sort of settling, and the shot resolves into 8 standing there looking at this big hole in the wall. What do you do? This is a job's done moment for you. How do you respond to your job here?
Gosh. 8 stands very still, and then begins speaking to themselves, saying, "I never thought I would own a thing so beautiful."
Right, so we get some just quiet violins in the soundtrack, and then of course when you're so beautiful, a big chunk of the ceiling just falls down on the floor in front of you, just crashes and throws dust,
lands on their head, just smack.
Yeah, this last piece just breaks free and crashes onto your head and falls all around you.
I will show everyone how proud I am. Next is paint. Looks down at themselves and it's what color matches me? Just covered in dust.
Yeah, covered in dust.
That's waiting, just covered in dust too. White now. Perhaps the others will understand colors.
Awesome. Right, because if you can't paint the room to match you can paint both to match together.
Yep.
Cool. Now I'm just imagining 8 with World War I dazzle camouflage.
Yeah.
Can you see me now? You got these big white lines on you. So, Jewel, what are you doing while 8 is demolishing the wall in their room?
There's a garbage room.
There's a trash room.
As they say, one man's trash is another cat's treasure. So, Jewel is searching.
Nice. You want to dig through the garbage? Okay. Perfect. All right. Well,
she probably just throws it out the window, if she doesn't find it interesting.
Make an investigation check as you dig through this trash.
Yeah, give me
Okay.
something good.
Roll a D100. Roll a D100.
I like these.
And we'll see what you find in the trash.
Bag of teeth. Bag of teeth.
No, this is perfect. So you're digging through and you find an old jewelry box, and you open it. Right? So you find this old jewelry box, and it's tarnished, and the paint is chipped. But it's among a bunch of just garbage and moth-eaten clothes and whatever. But this it's closed. It's locked. It might be promising. Do you want to try and open it?
Hell yeah, she does.
Okay, all right. Make a lock picking check. Use your thieves tools.
busts out the thieves' tools, like, sits down on a pile of garbage, like, it's gonna be. I don't even know what's inside, but it's gonna be good. It's gonna be the worst.
Okay,
14.
Nice. All right, you got 14. So you like set it down gently in a sunbeam coming through the slats of the. You pop it open, and it creaks open, and inside there is a black velvet bag concealing some kind of object.
Opens that up.
Okay, so you slowly take out the bag and you like open it up, and you reach in and you feel like something, like some kind of jewelry or something, and you slowly pull out. And you find a brooch, an ivory brooch. It's like, I don't know, it's like this big around, like pretty big, like a pin. It's got a pin on that little rusted pin on the back. And the ivory brooch is a cameo, and on it is carved like the ugliest profile you have ever seen. Like this person just like, their face is shaped like a triangle and their nose is all huge. And they have like troglodyte eyebrow. And they're wearing like a powdered wig in the cameo. And underneath, there's an inscription in the ivory that just says "Beloved Floon," and you have this hideous cameo.
She puts it on.
Nice. So you're just like, boop. Yeah.
And then takes the jewelry box and like puts it in her new room, takes her other few valuables and like puts them in there. Artfully arranges them on the one surface she has dusted.
Fantastic.
And then goes back to the trash room.
Excellent. Okay, and then you just keep digging through the garbage wearing your beautiful, hideous ivory cameo. Yeah. So good.
She likes stuff.
Yeah. It's a Floon cameo. It says right in the thing. So, Rin, let's check in on you. So,
yeah,
what are you doing?
I think I probably go up to the room that I've claimed as mine, along with my unseen servant Alistair, still doing his business. And if he like expired, I've resummoned him back up.
Sure.
And I'm just trying to straighten out like my living area a little bit, like the place where I am going to be sleeping, presumably.
Yeah. So
she's being like really fastidious about it. She's like watching, and she's very polite with her servant, but like everything is very specific. Like, oh, you missed that spot there. Like you have to go back for it. Make sure that it's totally clean. We can't have anything like out of place here. That's it.
Okay, so you're in this room, and then the servant is like fastidiously tidying it, and then he's tidying with like, because as your intensity goes up, so too does your servant's, right? So downstairs it was a lot of just kind of like clearing out the trash and like making the room so it's not dangerous. But here, like this is your space, so he's making a good call at it. So while you're doing this, you hear the fluttering of wings as the raven from the other room flaps into this room and alights on one of the like the overhead. I guess it would sit on like the mantle.
Like a mantle or something.
Sit on the door mantle. Yeah, because I was thinking that it would have like beams, but the roof isn't that tall. You're not on the ceiling. So it just flies and sits down on the mantle on the door and observes you a moment.
And I observe back, like watch for a moment, and I go, "Oh, you've decided to come in, have you?"
And then the raven looks back the way it came, and then looks at you, and then flies back into the other room.
Something to show me? I like follow into the turret room.
Okay, so you come into that room. The raven is sitting on the desk again, or like standing on the desk. And when you come in, it looks up and then looks back at you.
Yes.
Make a perception check.
All right.
That's right.
You should have advantage because the raven's helping.
The raven is what is allowing you to make the check.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, you don't see anything. You just see like the filthy ceiling. And it's got like layers of soot from like someone who lived here spent a lot of time at this desk burning candles down and working. But so you look up and you look back at the raven, and however you imagine a raven looking disappointed, that's like there's a slight like like dropping of the wings and kind of like looks around, like shakes its head.
Not sure what you're trying to tell me, but something, surely. Not this place, though. I'm quite busy, actually, so I'm going to get back to it, if that's all right. You know, like
the raven croaks at you
away from the raven and into the other room and set out some of my own belongings on like whatever surface there is, you know, in here, a desk or a bedside or something.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's no furniture that's usable in this house right now.
No,
it's all trash.
No, but there's like something I put stuff somewhere. You know what I mean? And one of the things I lay out is like this really nice ink drawing of a raven, of like a bird that I have in my possession. And I think that's good.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't like other than that, tidying.
Just tidying. Yeah, totally.
Making sure that everything is clean.
Okay. All right. So Makaria, you go back to the City of the Dead. You retrieve your meager goods. You bid one finger farewell to the other orphans, and you return to your home in Trollskull Alley. So it takes, like, everybody's busy renovating and digging through garbage and bragging about how they have a place to live.
Also, before I come back, I'm going to buy some wine.
Okay. Do you have any idea where to do such a thing? Are you a regular drinker?
Oh, yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Yes. If she doesn't, she might. Okay, I don't know how Calamvorites work, but if they have any like chapel wine, she'll take that.
It's not usually used for like. It doesn't taste good. Like, I don't know if you like. It's rich.
I've never.
It's ritual wine. They don't make it because it's like delicious. It's cheap and watery and not meant to get you.
No, this is special. We have a house now. I wouldn't do that. Okay, I'll buy some at the nearest. And I know where the nearest tavern is, and I know which one I like. She drinks a lot.
Okay, all right. Let me see if wine is like a. Nope,
wine
swine.
Common, a pitcher is 2 silver pieces, and fine, a bottle is 10 gold pieces.
Okay.
So he wants a bottle, not a pitcher, obviously, but like not like fucking 10 gold worth of one bottle.
Does it seriously list wine in pitchers?
That's what it says, yeah.
Like, unless it's sangria, I don't understand. I have never been in a place that offers wine by the pitcher.
Yeah.
Like carafe, maybe? But
that's
like
literally
yeah, can I get a picture? Just give me a picture of the red. Yeah. Okay. So you have 10 gold that you can spend on an expensive bottle.
Well, I said I didn't want to there's got to be an in between, right? I have 10 gold, but I didn't want to spend it all on this.
I mean,
she wants more than one bottle.
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be like
crappy wine as opposed to a pitcher of crappy wine. Or good wine.
Yeah.
So like, can we just like say it's not like it's a closed pitcher? Or like,
can I get this pitcher to go?
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
it's like we're slowly finding ways to make it worse. So you're like, you go down to the dock ward and you're like, give me a picture of your house red, and they're like, okay, and you're like, can I get it to go? And like, oh yes, let me pour it into this hat. Here you go.
There's got to be like in between 2 silver and 10 gold, like a way to get wine.
Yeah, sure.
Just pour it into a bag.
As with real life, wine varies in the land of Faerun. So you basically just decide how much you want to spend, and if you want to bring your friends a $12 bottle of wine for your new house, fine.
Oh yeah. So she's gonna get 1 5 gold bottle of wine.
Mm-hmm.
And then how much silver is in gold?
10.
Yeah. And then she's gonna get 5 2 silver bottles.
Okay. I mean, a 2 silver bottle of wine's still like okay.
Yeah, it's drinkable. It's not the like stuff that the fucking Calamvorites have.
Yeah.
So I'll do the math for that.
Okay. All right. So you leave. We'll skip the scene. We won't RP the scene where you annoy a vintner for like an hour and a half. But yes, you obtain several bottles of wine, one of which is good. The rest are fine.
The rest are alcohol.
Drink the good one first, and then you won't care about the other ones not being so good. Listen, these are good drinking strategies. You don't drink the good beer at the end. You drink it first.
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, and then you head home. Okay.
Yeah, carrying a bunch of bottles of wine and like the single change of clothes that she owns.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you return to Troll Skull Manor. There's a big pile of garbage out in the front, like construction garbage.
Oh, I didn't get any glasses. Fuck.
It's just like moving into a new apartment. Hey, I got wine. Do we have glasses? No.
Did you get a bottle opener?
Just high neck that shit. You also don't have like interior plumbing.
It's fine.
Yeah. You've got like some broken glasses you can use.
It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Does anybody have a corkscrew? Does anybody remember to get a corkscrew?
Oh, come on. Like, don't even at me with that.
So what you got to do is you take your shoe off and you put the wine bottle in the shoe.
I have tried that. It does not work.
It does work.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. You gotta have shoes with thick like rubber soles. Otherwise, it totally doesn't work.
Whatever.
Anyway,
so I have a portable ram.
That will not work.
You just give it to 8 and it just breaks the top off. Here you go.
Works too.
Drink.
I would like to say that I go in with my like bottles of wine to our tavern, and I put them on the counter, and I like before going up to my bedroom, I open up the good one, and I look around.
Said it's a screw top. That's not real. We don't have the glass. We don't have the glassware to do that.
I open up the good one.
And
I look around to make sure Rin's not here.
So you're just downstairs by yourself?
Not yet. I just got back.
Okay, all right. So you walk in. Everybody's busy doing stuff.
And then I take some of the good wine and I pour it into the top, like whatever like broken glassware I can find, or like something that will hold booze. And I say, this is for you. Sorry if we got off on the wrong foot.
And what do you do with it? You just like are holding it?
No, I have it on the bar and I'm just talking to the ghost bartender.
I know, but what do you do with the wine? You're like, it's for you, and then you just keep holding it?
No, I like push I have the bottle for me, and then I have the glass or bowl or like piece of thing for them. This is for you. Sorry if we got off on the wrong foot, but I don't know. I'm fond of wine. I would hope that you're fond of wine.
Okay. All right.
Fond of ghosts. Well, never met a ghost.
Make a persuade check. So you set the wine down, you push it, and you're like, this one's for me.
I'm using my inspiration.
You're like, this one's for me. This one's for you. This one's for Biggie and Eazy-E and Tupac.
I'm using my inspiration. Please love me, ghost.
15? Okay. All right. You can't drink the wine. So
I can do my thing again. I have 3 uses per day. So I do my thing again so I can see it.
Okay. Yeah. So it appears like when you focus, you feel the chill hand of Merkel pass through you, and you see it, and you see the ghost, and the ghost can't drink it, right? He can't take it. It looks at the wine,
and I like toast with the bottle, and
looks
then
at you. It looks at the bottle, and then kind of like sneers a little, like ugh. Not like it's angry, but it like looks at the label on the bottle and then looks at you and raises an eyebrow like, really? And then
I'm not made of money.
And then fades away.
And then as I say that, like, and then I'm like, all right.
You just drink the glass? Okay.
No, I drink the bottle. I leave the glass.
Okay.
That's for the ghost.
All right. Okay. All right. Fantastic. All right. So the day has passed in traveling and shopping and what have you. Night is approaching, and you will need a place to stay. Is everybody just going to camp out here, like on the floor?
Yeah, bed rolling. Yeah, bed rolling.
Okay. So you haven't eaten all day. You've all been so busy.
I have wine.
So we fade in on we like crossfade to it's night now. We can hear the sort of night sounds of the city, people kind of coming and going. And the group of you are sitting, like around a candle or?
We burn. There's a fireplace.
Okay.
There's a hearth. Yeah.
Right. So Rin has asked the servant to clear out the main hall, like that hearth.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Above the hearth. So as you clear it out, and you light it. Like there's some kickback of smoke, and then the chimney starts to pour. So we see Trollskull with this faint wisp of smoke drifting up from its chimney for the first time in years. And the place it takes a lot to warm up a big place like this, but the weather is starting to change, and a small fire with all of you sort of crowded around it, sitting on the floor on your bedrolls. And Makaria has brought these like bottles of wine. Not a good dinner.
I am already drunk.
Okay, Makaria's a little drunk.
Because I had the first one all to myself, except for the ghost. But I have 5 more. That's not as good.
I look between everybody like here in this like weird camp out zone, and go like, well, it's not the best start, but I could think of worse ways.
I think that this is great. I feel great.
Thank you.
So I let Rin, I gave like a whole bottle to Rin and to Jewel, and I told Kate that he couldn't have any because it was a waste. Like drunkenly, like you can't have any. I'm not spending my money.
Makaria seems to be malfunctioning.
I'm not spending my money for it to just like go wherever you don't even have a stomach. So none for you, more for me.
So I think tomorrow we should check out who our neighbors are.
Yeah. There's a bookstore.
A bookstore.
We should go there.
Like now?
Not.
He sleeps. No, anyway, I don't want to.
Just as you do. Yes, he sleeps.
You don't want to go there.
Confused.
He sleeps.
I sleep. I don't. I would call it passing out. It's more like passing out.
I don't. I don't do that.
Anyway,
keep the renovations to a dull roar. Wow.
He was looking at a house, and he had some. They. I didn't ask. I don't know. Had some books, and he said that he had stuff about accounting and about death gods and about arcane bullshit and probably other things. Cats. I don't know, Jewel.
I'm glad we had this. I'm so glad we had this conversation before you indulged heavily in the wine that you purchased.
What? Oh, you mean me and that person? Dragon? I don't know.
Were they dragon or dragon-born dragon?
I had a snout and like I don't know.
Bookstore was a man. He was a dragon man. So Makaria is trying to do charades.
That's what I'm doing.
I lean over to Jewel and I go, we'll check it out tomorrow when she's better.
Yeah, maybe we should go later in the day after she's had a chance to recover.
Or earlier when she's not ready yet.
Wait, do we want her to come with us or not?
Well, I don't.
I want to go! You can't leave me. He's got books about Merkel.
Then she just passes out.
Then she just passes out. That's a good time.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, God.
We should run a bath and put her in the bath, and
With
she'll be
what?
so confused.
Have we actually dealt with what lives in the bath currently?
I have not dealt with what lives in my bath yet. I just got back and got drunk.
That sounds right.
I think rest is probably the best.
What's the worst that can happen? It'll climb out of the bathtub and strangle her in her sleep.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Obviously, what'll happen is you go up there, you disturb the water, and a froghemoth will jump out of the bath and attack you.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I think it's probably best if we camp out together here by this one functioning fireplace tonight, don't you?
Yeah. I found some really awesome and interesting things in the trash room, but my room is still trash and not in the good way.
You moved all the garbage from the garbage room into your room while you were digging through it.
Some of it went in there. A lot of it went out what I assume was a large hole in the roof.
Yep.
Just Macaria murmurs the hole. Macaria murmurs in her like random passed out state. She's like, my hand is everywhere. My hand is everywhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Just murmuring strange arcane nothings in her sleep.
I like this idea. Why don't we stay in this room?
It seems to me that my visitor or my resident, as it was, the raven that lives in the tower.
Oh, that's right.
Is not planning on moving out because we've moved in. Certainly.
That sounds like a bird. Birds are very stubborn.
I have some experience in the matter. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Also, Jewel like definitely has this big old brooch on. The ugliest.
It's hideous. It's so ugly. It looks like a gnome and an ugliness elemental had a baby. It's not good.
Point at it. I'm like, you found that.
I did.
Yes.
I'm guessing there are so many other things in that room that I can find. It's just a matter of time.
I'm glad that you're happy. Like very like I'm not going to compliment the brooch, but
this is so ugly. I love it.
I'm glad you recognize that it is not an attractive item.
Jewel is just wearing it ironically.
Macaria sits up.
She like my cool brooch.
Yeah, she sits up.
Crack another PBR.
She says,
she's a little bit of
eyes really wide, breathes in, and then she passes.
Right. Well, I think a little shut eye and then check out the neighborhood tomorrow. Maybe acquire a piece of furniture or two.
I could use
a bed,
a less moldy blanket to sleep on.
A good place to start, I think.
Yes. I just need a box.
Yes. Well, of course.
Finds an empty cardboard box and like circles around and it curls up.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Huh.
She like unrolls a bedroll and like pushes Macaria onto it.
Yep.
Like props her up in the recovery position.
Okay. Yeah. So things seem to be sort of winding down as night goes on, and yeah, you rest in Troll Skull Manor, and while the characters take a nap, let's also take a short break. We'll be right back. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Going into part 3 of today's episode of Roll20 Presents Waterdeep Dragon Heist, which we'll get to eventually, but houses and real estate. So we find ourselves in the city of Waterdeep. It is the morning after the first night in Troll Skull Manor. Macaria...
Can I make a con save to see how?
Yeah. You can add a hangover to your inventory. Make a Constitution save.
Okay, how hungover is Macaria? Average hungover, a little less than average.
You're okay. You're fine. Okay. You're functional. You don't take a level of exhaustion.
Cool.
8. When we see you in the morning, you don't really have to sleep, right? So you're like awake. Are you like tidying in the morning? What are you doing when everybody else wakes up and comes downstairs?
Yeah, 8's already up and downstairs, cleaning the mess that they made in the yard, kind of into a corner of the yard, so that they can hire like a wheelbarrow or a cart or something.
Yeah, somebody to come and take trash away. Yeah.
Yeah, but they've tried to be very quiet during the night because they sleep.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so everybody wakes up and comes downstairs. So what would you like to do today? I assume you just ate rations last night for dinner?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well, everybody that needs to eat.
I drank for dinner.
Mark those off. And unless you want to eat rations all day today, you might want to go out and find something else you can.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, I want to check out the neighborhood, Adam. I want to see what services, what vendors are nearby, and how I may indulge upon them.
Okay. All right. Well, let's take a look at Troll Skull Alley.
As Rin goes to leave, you probably notice.
Yeah, I'm just like set to march out, basically.
A little thing like hung up on a nail by the door into the main room.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little cross stitch, and it's pretty good. I rolled for it. It's pretty good, and I've made you one of the Home Sweet Home cross stitches.
Oh,
little frame. It's 18 good.
It is 18 good. I saw that, Dave. Use your Reaver's tools. It's very nice.
She notices it and nods and like sort of goes to leave. Anybody who wants to come is welcome, of course. But like,
are we going to the bookstore? I want to go to the bookstore. Are we going there?
Rin gets ready pretty like fastidiously in the morning and like quite efficiently at this point.
Yeah, you're the person who's like just waiting. Like, all right, I'm ready. You can come with me, but hurry up.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Well, I was planning to look around the local area, so if the bookstore is there, then yes.
I mean, if I remember correctly, yes. It's he just pointed down the street. I think it's that one of the ways. Somewhere.
We'll take a look.
It's somewhere.
Jewel, are you coming with us? Would call into the house.
Sure. He like scrambles down the stairs. All right, where are we going? Are we dealing, shopping?
I have no destination in mind, just to see what's around the area.
That sounds like a good idea.
Okay, let me grab your tokens, and I'll bring you over here, and you can take a look at your neighborhood.
Oh my god! Even a map for that.
Yeah, there's like a little map for the neighborhood.
Gosh, who planned this, and why are they the best?
I am 100% making this manor in The Sims.
Right? You should come. We should do it together.
I know, right? Oh,
you can't. There's no like Sims multiplayer.
No, I'm like we live in the same city. God damn it!
True. Wait, what?
What? Real life. Okay. So I will place.
Sounds like such a good plan. I wish I could get in on. Anyway,
I have to shrink you.
Oh my god, Rin is so small.
Can I stay that size? Because
no,
Yeah.
I have to rescale you. All right, and then I will zoom the hell in. So, yeah, this is your house. There's your house right there.
Okay.
That is Troll Skull Manor.
I kind of don't love the like line of sight on this because I can't see what the houses look like.
Oh yeah, because it blocks the outside walls. I guess I could just turn off the. There's kind of no reason to have right now the dynamic lighting. Let me see if I can just. Can you see everything now?
Yeah.
There you go.
Because you'd be able to see the houses, right?
Yeah.
It's not just blackness.
Yeah, this map is for when the aliens invade your neighborhood and you have to fight them.
Fight all the aliens.
And then somebody casts enlarge on Dave, and then he becomes this big.
I want that to happen at some point.
He just stomps around, crushing enemies. Yeah, it's the neighborhood defense game. Okay, so you step outside of your manor. And
I'm gonna go up this way and look up and down the street here.
In what direction did the Dragonborn point?
He pointed. He was going this way. He was coming through the alley, and then he pointed like that way.
Okay, so I point that out because I remember talking about it because I was very excited.
Okay.
So I remember that Dragonborn fellow. She knows she knows races. She's been in Waterdeep forever. She was just drunk. But she's like, he said his bookstore was that way.
Well, we may as well take a look.
What other kind of stores are we passing?
So.
Oh God!
I was just checking size just for scale, you know.
Fuck! Get that out of here, please.
So you walk, you start walking around the corner, and you look west, and yeah, like this is, most of these places are like private residences. They're mansions, they're houses, that sort of thing. So you see those laid out, all on this side. There seems to be a sign hanging out in front of this one, though.
No, sign. Read the sign.
Okay, so you walk over to this one. This building is a relatively unremarkable apartment from the outside. But what distinguishes it is an orange and black sign that features a cat's eyes.
Does it have any text?
No.
Is there like a window or anything on the door in the front?
There is, but the curtains are drawn.
Okay.
Maybe it's closed.
Could be closed.
Yes. Whatever.
There is there's a doorbell. There is a doorbell.
Jewel rings it.
Yeah. So you
She
pull.
tries the door first and then rings the bell.
Okay. All right.
Cats. She points at the sign. And
you pull on it. There's a long pause. How long do you wait before you yank on the bell again?
Not very long.
Okay.
Jewel's not a bitch.
Again. All right.
And it's like getting more and more.
You ring twice, and then you're allowed to break in.
That's the rules.
That's the rules. It's in the code of law. Okay. So so there's
pretty sure it was in the code.
As you're ringing the second time, like pulling on the bell, the door creaks open. And inside it's an apartment. You can kind of catch a glimpse through the door. It's dimly lit, and you can see there's like flickering light. All of the windows are shut, so it's dark in there. And you are met by a tall, kind of grave-looking human who has like a receding hairline, is dressed in a nice like servant's outfit. And he has a stern look on his face, and he looks down at the four of you, and he says, "Do you have an appointment?"
Do we need an appointment?
He sneers. "Mr. Trench only sees those with an appointment." And he slams the door in your face.
Mr. Trench only sees those with an appointment.
Fine, make fun of the guy's manservant.
Okay, well, I don't like that person anyway.
Forget that guy.
Suppose we'll give that one a miss.
Mr. Trench. All right, so you're gonna head down the street.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, even from here, you can see there's a sign out here, and actually, it's early in the morning. So maybe you see a familiar figure, Makaria. You see Rashal, and he has he has a long wooden pole with a hook on the end, and he's putting up a sign. He's hanging up the open sign above his door, and on it there is a curling, a golden, like it's a nice, well painted, expensive looking sign. A curling golden dragon clutching a book, like lovingly in its talons. And he's hanging it up, and he's like whistling to himself.
Hi.
And you walk over, and he hooks it, and he brings the pole down, and he looks down from the doorway, and he grins, and he says, hello, Makaria. And he looks at your friends.
This is the bookstore owner, and
I literally just said his name to remind you.
You remembered your name, and you did not remember his name.
Yeah, yep. His nostrils like widen a little, and like some little wisp of smoke drifts out of them.
This is my friends. This is Rin. She owns the manor.
Yeah, he smiles, and you see his sharp-looking dragonborn with like white teeth. He smiles, and he nods his head to you, Rin, and he says, "My pleasure."
And this is Jewel. She does not own the manor. And this is 8. They also do not own the manor.
And he says, "Well, whatever your real estate status, I'm sure you have other interesting qualities."
So they can share those with you. I don't.
My name is Rishal.
Rishal, now that I've had a proper introduction, it is a pleasure to meet a neighbor.
This is the bookworm. Would you like to come inside? I've just made tea.
Please.
And he bows and like gestures like, please, after you.
Does it have bookworm written out?
No, it does not. No.
Okay. I'm just gauging when I will pick up on the fact that it's a pun.
Yes, yeah. It does not have it written on there.
I don't think Jewel cares, but Lauren really appreciates.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It makes me happy.
Okay, so you come into the shop, and like every bookshop in all of history across the multiverse, it has that very particular like
bookshop
glue and ink and paper smell. You can smell some kind of like black tea in the air as well. It's a beautiful, beautiful shop. It's 2 stories, and there's a curving stairway at the back, and it has the sense that while at a glance it looks as if the books have been piled all over the place, you have the feeling that Rishal knows where everything is in here. There's this sort of system to his chaos. And as you come in, it's like walking into a beautiful library. And and he welcomes you all in, and he invites you to take a look around. And he says,
I'm sorry, Rishal, you said something about tea?
Yes, I'll fetch it now. Just upstairs in the apartment. A moment. And he goes upstairs.
I forgot his name, even though he just said it. I'm not
Rishal.
actually sorry.
His name is Rishal.
Right. I look around for any books that like might have anything about Merkel in them.
Okay.
Would it be more impolite for me to not drink the tea or to drink it through, I suppose, one of my eyes?
8, you do what makes you comfortable.
Drink the tea.
All right.
Yes, I don't think it's a rule.
Yeah, drinking it through your eyeball might just make everybody uncomfortable.
I wasn't sure.
Makaria, make an investigation check while you're digging for books.
Okay. 16.
Okay. You find a book called The Time of Troubles. It's a big, thick book, The Time of Troubles. And it appears to have been written, it says, like, so Time of Troubles, and on the cover, there is the seal of Candlekeep, the Great Library of Candlekeep. And when you open it, it appears to have been written by a scribe by the name of Allinson.
I want it.
It's very heavy. It's like a big book.
I want it.
Okay. All right, so you're like holding it, like, looking at it.
I'm holding it to my chest after I like opened it and looked at it. I'm holding it to my chest like the dragon in the logo of the shop.
Like Jewel looks over at Makaria. Why don't you just take it?
What?
Just take it.
I look mortified at this conversation that is happening in front of me right now.
And then like looks over at Rin and goes, in exchange for money. She adds while like perched on a chair, definitely putting a book back on the table.
Yeah. Well, you see, if later he has more books, then I don't want to get on his bad side.
Yes.
I'm not good at what
you pay for.
We have just moved into this neighborhood. We have just settled down here. We are just meeting our neighbors. Now is not the time to steal their goods.
So you would rather we lie to them?
Is never mind.
They should know who their neighbors are. No, don't you want them to love and fear you, Rin?
So you hear your host, you hear Rishal returning, and he does that thing where he's like taking slightly heavier than usual steps so that you know he's coming, so that you can stop whatever private conversation you are having.
Yeah.
Don't get. If you want them to appreciate their new neighbors, then we should. I want this book.
So he comes down the stairs, and he's holding a silver tray with teacups, with 5 teacups on it, and a teapot made of some like beautiful white porcelain, and curling around the outside of the pot is painted like enameled a blue dragon. But the dragon is shaped like strange. It's more like a sort of like a snake. Like it doesn't have wings, and it has like a long mustache, but it's unmistakably a dragon, and it's curling around the outside of the teapot. And there is this like spicy smell that is wafting from it when he brings it down. And he says, "My apologies. I don't often have guests. I had to find the good implements. Please." And he gestures, and you can see, you didn't even really notice it before, you can see there's like a table with some like stools around it that has only got books crammed up on one side of it, and there's enough for you to sit down.
I take a seat at one of the like places at the table. Yeah.
All right. So yeah,
wait patiently for tea service.
Yeah.
I also sit down and I put the book on my lap, but not like hiding it. I'm just like
being possessive.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Jewel, are you still exploring, or do you sit down too?
She'll sit down. I mean, I think she was just watching Makaria and like then talking.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And 8, do you sit, or do you stand nearby?
I will attempt to sit if it's possible.
Totally. Yeah. The stool groans somewhat in complaint, but bears your weight.
And the usual owners are Dragonborn, right? So like they're pretty big.
Yeah. He's actually short for a Dragonborn.
Oh.
Yeah, he's only like 5'6".
Oh.
So you all sit, and he pours you Rin, he pours you a cup of tea, and he hands it to you. Makaria, he pours you some. Jewel, he does the like, I'm holding the teapot, like, do you want some? He doesn't say.
She like holds it and then
he gives you tea. And 8, when he turns to you, he kind of looks you up and down as if sort of appraising the situation. And then he says, would you like some tea?
I would, however, am not equipped to enjoy it.
I think what Aid is trying to convey is that were he capable of enjoying the tea, he would very much like to have some.
Well, it's still very warm for your hands. Do you feel warmth? 8? Like fire, except for nice.
Yes.
Well, there you go. You could enjoy it.
Put my hand on the teapot. And
you're just holding it. So he pours some tea and he sits and he says, so you've moved into Trollskull?
Yes, there's quite a lot of work to do, but I think at the end of it, it should serve well.
Do you know anything about Trollskull?
It has been out of business since as long as I have been here. I believe it was a tavern. And before that, I think an orphanage for dwarves.
Do you know anything about when it was a tavern?
He nods. He says, yes, the most recent occupant.
Do you know who the owner or keeper of the tavern was?
I do not drink myself. I have never visited the place.
Okay. How much is this book?
And he looks at it. The Time of Troubles. I had thought to show it to you after our conversation the other day. It is old, but it is a history book and not easy to sell. It came from Candlekeep. Do you know about Candlekeep, Macaria?
Is it in Waterdeep? Do I know about Candlekeep? I don't know.
Like you've heard the name before?
Like
make a history check.
Okay. History.
Like Rin, you definitely have heard of it.
Oh yeah.
14.
Because you're plugged in. It's not too far. It's closer to Baldur's Gate than it is to Waterdeep. I'm looking at a map of the Forgotten Realms right now.
Good old Candlekeep with its basement full of doppelgangers. I mean, what?
Yeah, that's right. They had a doppelganger problem. He says,
Well, I got a 14 for knowing about them.
So Candlekeep is a library, might also be a church.
Like a monastery.
Kind of yeah, like it's a place where they make books and they know things.
Okay.
They make books and they know.
Yeah.
I know of them. I've never been there myself.
He says, I have many times, though not recently. I have not been much for travel, and the shop's been very busy. It is a beautiful place. Like this, and he gestures, but much, much bigger.
What else can we expect nearby?
What about my book?
And he
yes, your book.
And he looks at you, Rin, like he's talking to a parent whose kid is like, but I want candy. What about that? And he turns and he says, old, made by hand. A bit expensive, I think. I couldn't possibly part with it for less than 100 gold. You just like sputter a little.
I look at Bakari and I'm like, well, I suppose if you want it, you best save for it.
Can I do anything for you?
He does not have a.
Do you need anyone
exclamation
prepared?
mark floating over his head?
Do you need anyone prepared for burial or?
He says, unfortunately, no. I've no need for a priest of Kelimvor. And if you'll pardon my inelegance, I hope not to for many, many years.
I could also, I don't know, clean or I could. I don't know. What do people need?
He smiles and he pats you.
100 gold worth of menial chores.
Yeah, you'd be doing it for the rest of your life.
8 could stab him, and then I could heal him for 100 gold.
He pats you on the shoulder gently, and he says, "I'm sure something will come to mind. You appear to be a very enterprising young woman."
Something, I'm sure, will come to mind. Looks at Jewel.
Don't worry, Karia. I can tell you of the time of trouble. I was there for most of it.
Jewel is very confused because she's just been given very conflicting pieces of information.
And eight, when you say that, your host, Rochelle, looks at you and he says, "Is that so?"
Well, yes, the Accord and such. I was present for the changes in society. The splitting off the Lord of Blades.
I'm not sure.
How old are you?
And so Rochelle.
Also, this is all references to Everon.
Yeah, it is, yeah. And so Rochelle is like the Lord of Blades, not a title I'm familiar with. Was this one of Bane's epithets? Bale, perhaps.
He was like me, but bigger, stronger, led all of us.
All of you? I would have assumed you were a unique individual. You're no wizard's construct.
It's confusing. And to answer your question, around 5 years old.
He blinks.
When was the time of trouble?
Hundreds of years ago.
Very
I think perhaps this is a what would you call it? A moment of I'm trying to think of how I would refer to this. Cross wiring, but I
right, but like, what's the medieval paradigm for that? Yes. yeah. So he says, I think he laughs at the moment of awkwardness, and he says, "Well, I for one am excited to have such interesting neighbors. I think you'll find that you fit into the neighborhood quite well. Have you had much of a chance to look around?"
You're our first stop, other than the eye and the servant.
And he nods and says, "Good. Well, will you be reopening the tavern then?"
I'm not sure yet. It really depends on if we can get things going.
Well, we could use a place to gather.
There's a great deal of finance that goes into renovating a place like that.
Of course.
Not to mention, we currently have a ghost. So.
A ghost?
I look over at Rin and I'm like, oh, we're talking.
And he says, "Well, I'm sure with a member of Kelemvor's faith in your company, you should be able to dispel such a creature without any trouble."
Dispel?
That was my hope, certainly.
And I look at Ren again, like, you what?
And so while you're the two of you are having this look, he looks over at Jewel, and Jewel, you get a look you've seen before, and this is the "do I know you from somewhere" look. It's the look that he's about to be like, I recognize you. Do you preempt it, or do you let him ask?
She just like accidentally, totally on purpose, just knock something over, like 100%, whatever is nearest to her.
Oh my god, it's your teacup, right? Because you're a cat, so you're just like slowly pushing it towards the edge of the desk.
Yeah, just like makes eye contact and goes, "Oops, whoops, I'm so sorry." And then
I catch it. It's really pretty, so I catch it.
All right, make a dexterity save, 8.
I don't want to ruin his teacups. They're nice.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I think so. It creates a distraction by pushing it off the table, and then you catch it. I don't think a 14 is enough to catch it with all the tea in it, but
I'm so sorry. I'm such a klutz. I'm really
not to worry. Thank you. And he looks at you, 8, and says, "Thank you, my friend," and reaches out to take it from you.
Give it back. I don't grip it because it's kind of too small, so it's all like.
I feel like this is a routine that has happened more than once.
Yeah.
That like Jewel has just knocked something off a table so people don't talk about her parents, and then 8 catches it.
Yeah.
Actually, Rochelle, you might be able to help me with something.
And he's taking the teacup and setting it down, like wiping his hands with a towel, and he says, "Oh, what is it?"
I have a book that I have no use for personally, but your vast library seems to be the sort of thing that might benefit from this sort of edition. I don't know. And I pull out the spell book from the orc. What was his name? Like Grumshar or something?
Just some kind of jerk ass orc name.
Some jerk ass orc. Yeah, Grumshar's spell book is what I've got here.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's his name.
And I like offer it over to Rochelle to leaf through.
Okay. All right. So he takes it and he kind of flips through it and says, a book of magic. And where did you find this?
On an orc. A rather unpleasant orc.
Well, best to keep these sorts of things out of unpleasant hands.
Oh, I agree. That's why I'm hoping you might take it off my hands.
I might. Would you be interested in a trade? He looks at Macaria.
I think technically it's mine. I killed him.
You didn't pick it.
He blinks his big gold eyes, and because he's a dragonborn, right? He has the like clear membrane and then the regular eyelid. So he just looks at 8 and blinks hard.
I look over at 8, I raise a hand, and I say, "We'll talk about that later."
Right. He attacked first.
You are right, he did. But like I said, not a polite conversation for a polite place. And turn back to Rochelle.
Yeah, and he doesn't seem too scandalized, but he's just like, interesting. Okay, he's getting a measure of you.
So a trade, you say? How much would it be worth if I didn't want to trade it for a book I'm not going to use?
The magic in this book is fairly simple.
Just the basics.
He nods. And to be honest, I would be trading it from you simply to keep it from falling into the wrong hands. I would turn it over to the magist, most like, rather than resell it. I can.
So not much is what I'm hearing.
He says, like, he's trying to kind of imply to you that, like, you probably shouldn't have it either, like, unless it's your own personal spell book. You've basically got a gun, right? A gun that's been used in crimes. And what he's going to do is turn it over to the cops and have it destroyed. And he's giving you an out to not have it. But if you leave, the implication here, and I think you're capable of picking this up, the implication is like, if you take that, the city guard will probably come and talk to you about it. Like, he's going to rat you out because he feels like responsible. Not in a, like, you're going to get in trouble, but like the guard will come and be like, hey, so we hear you have this like spell book.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's being very polite and offering, like, why don't you take the book that Macaria obviously wants so badly, and you give me the spell book, and we both just don't worry about it.
I look at Macaria as I look at Macaria as I hand the book over, and I go, remember this, like doing you a favor. Here we go.
So he takes the spell book and he smiles as though he has just learned something again. Like when he looked at 8, right? When 8 was like, I kill people, but then he looked at you and you're like, okay, like this was immediately following that, so it's a bit of a test, right? And he takes it from you and he smiles and he says, thank you. and I will take care of it for you.
I wasn't going to give it back anyway.
And he looks at you, Makaria, and he says, I think you should find it very enlightening. There are some bits about Kelimvor in there, particularly. An old favorite of mine.
Mine too.
So, who else do we have for neighbors around here, Astral? Where else should I visit before heading back home?
And he says,
Mr. Trench.
He says the north. Do you bring that up? Yeah. Okay. He says, yes, my most mysterious neighbor. I've never been able to meet the man myself. His servant comes and goes, bringing things to his apartment. He entertains visitors from time to time, always people looking troubled. And he smiles. He says, I do love a good mystery.
She is already like going over what the plans for the house looked like in her mind, or the manor, being like, oh, okay, where's the best entry point?
Yeah. And then he thinks a moment while I open up the list of people that live in this neighborhood. And he says, there is, nearest your home, a townhouse. The owner is a wood elf. We've only met in passing. I've no real interest in herbalism, flowers, gestures around. Haven't the room for it. Just to the south of where you live. You can't miss it. And near there, the Steam and Steel. Again, nowhere I spend much time, but they make weapons, armor. And he takes another look at 8, and he says, worth a visit, I think.
I was just going to comment, certainly.
Some doors down to the east from the greenhouse. I can see him thinking, and he says, noble homes, mostly, the rest. Though, I think we've a new one. Just behind the smithy. A craftsperson of some sort.
That could be helpful to us, considering the state of the manor.
Huh, yes, it hadn't occurred to me. Perhaps they can carve you some new furniture.
At the very least, let us know exactly how much that's going to cost.
I find with these sorts of things, well, we'll see how luxurious you want the interior of your home to be.
I mean, the answer is as luxurious as possible. But my pocket tends not to agree with me sometimes.
I should warn you. You're not the only ones looking to obtain that particular property.
Oh, really?
There's a man, Froon, Emic Froon.
Are you serious?
Tavern operator.
Is his name actually Froon?
His name is Emic Froon. Yep.
Like Floon, but with an R.
Yeah, it's a common name. He says he was looking at purchasing the place. It's spelled Frewn, if it's any consolation. Froon. Emic Froon. He was looking at purchasing the place. And if you have it and he doesn't, he may come looking to convince you to leave.
Well, you said looking to purchase the place. We'll see.
Yeah. And he nods. And yeah. So there's some more, like, you know, you can hang out and like finish your tea and small talk and go book shopping if you want to. But customers soon start arriving. There is a like a errand runner from maybe the Temple of Ilmater who comes looking for a particular tome for his master, and that takes Rishal's attention away.
Well, once I'm done my tea, like I'm ready to go. For Makaria's got what she wanted.
Thank you, Rin. But you did owe me 100 gold.
I did not owe you 100 gold.
The house was Volo's payment. You owned the house. Volo owed me 100 gold. Therefore,
I don't think Volo.
Where are you living right now?
Rin has a point.
I'm doing work on. Well,
really?
Yes. Do you know that Kelemvarites get paid to banish ghosts
from where they live?
From other people's houses. I'm just saying.
Speaking.
Don't get all high and mighty with me. We'll see.
Speaking of gold, we have grander designs than we can account for. As you mentioned,
yes,
we should
look
do. For more work.
Yeah,
I agree.
And see.
I do.
Sure.
Surely there's some way the four of us can make a little coin.
We've done it before.
If there are things that pay 100 gold, it's probably more efficient than
All right.
the other thing.
You know, some people pay people to cure wounds. Is there a hospital around here?
Actually, yes. Ilmater's hospital, but I don't think they need a Kelemvarite.
Yeah, that'd be kind of depressing. Like, everybody's laying around trying to get better.
Woe and doom!
Well, like, yeah, the death cleeric shows up, and you're like, wait a second. Well, no, I'm feeling much better. I'm fine.
Ding.
I'm still
Bring out your dead.
Yes.
It's fine.
Plus, Ilmater is the god of like suffering. He pretty much invented like self-flagellation.
Yeah.
Yeah, you live in the same neighborhood as the Faerunian deity whose portfolio includes endurance, martyrdom, perseverance, and suffering. The god of those who suffer, are oppressed, and persecuted. The crying god, the lord on the rack, the broken god.
One day I will make a cleric of Ilmater. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Do it.
Suffering.
Yeah. He's buds with Tyr and Torm. They get shit done and he gets beat up.
Well,
pretty much.
I don't have many other skills.
I mean, you're pretty good at keeping us alive. So if we go somewhere that involves killing people and you keep us alive.
Still liked my idea of 8 stabbing someone and us charging them for me to heal them.
And then you have the extra gold to pay the guards when they come asking why we stabbed someone.
Yeah, I feel like we already know how to get work, and
I am sure if we go back to the Yawning Portal
somewhere.
Maybe my friend Three Strings will have something for us. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
But as for now, we should at least check in on the rest of the neighborhood, don't you think?
Yes,
There's a smithy and a craftsman's shop.
Right, we should get beds.
If you think we're going to have enough money between us to buy 4 beds.
You pool your money and get 1 bed.
I
don't need.
I think you're overestimating our finances somewhat.
I don't know how much a bed costs.
Well, I have one gold. A gold. So
I gave you 5. What happened to the other 4?
There. No, you're right. I do have those 5 gold as well. Never mind.
So you're just strolling down the street while you're having this conversation.
Yeah,
I keep track of how much money people have.
Yeah, we want to go to that craftsman.
Not as much as other stuff.
Where did they say he was?
Behind the smithy.
The smithy. So we're gonna hit the smithy first.
Yeah, like down here somewhere or something.
Yeah, the closest place is the like flower shop, which is near your house. right? If you're heading this way.
Oh, we have a flower shop near our house.
So is that thing? Do you want to go that way?
Sure.
Because you can cut through. Okay, so this is the shop right here. Once you like actually come into the little courtyard in here, you can see this joint, and yeah, it is a stately 3-story house, and the 3rd floor is made of glass. Now in the sunlight, you can see the sun is coming through it, and it's like looking up into a rainbow. There is a thick curtain of or a thick cushion of green, and then just like blossoms and blooms of every imaginable color blossoming inside this greenhouse up on the roof. Down below there is a door, and over the door now there's a sign hung that says it's got a symbol of a golden flower opening, and in common it says Corellon's crown, and then it says that again underneath in Elvish or Elven. D&D uses Elven, right? And Tolkien uses Elvish. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
Dwarfish.
it says Elvish and language stuff here. I don't know why.
Yeah, I can never remember which is which.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter too much.
Oh, we should go in there.
You'd like to say hello to whoever's running the flower shop?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right.
They probably won't make the flower from which the purple smoke is.
Oh no, we could go back to Zoblobs for that. And she goes in. Like,
yeah, Corellon's crown is a euphemism for opium. Okay. Yeah, so you go in there? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you open the door. There is a faint sort of glassine, like tinkling of bells, and you hear a voice from the back that says, "Hold on a moment. Hold on." And in this shop, everything has this overwhelming smell of flowers. And yes, there is part of this is a flower shop, but there's also racks with like dried herbs. There are poultices and potions, various things derived from plants. And you see an elf emerge from the back. They have long braided hair the color of sunlight. Braided with various like flower like blossoms and like pods and stuff. They're wearing an apron over kind of like plain brown and green clothes. The apron is stained with various plant juices, and they have a set of little like metal shears in one hand. And when they come out, they look like they were right in the middle of something. They're holding like a stem of a flower, and they smile and they come up to you and they say, hello, welcome to the crown."
And Macaria blinks for a second, and then she like goes, "Oh, hello. Wow, you're pretty."
They laugh, and it reminds you of the sound of the bells when the door opened. And they say it's a much flowerier version of this, but like it's basically like, "You flatter me," but they say it in Elvish, so it's like it sounds much more like nice.
Of course. Yeah.
Both you and Rin, obviously, you understand it.
I wanted to do you have any wolfsbane?
Yes, of course.
Or oleander, or
that too.
Could I? Do you? Now I don't know if I want to ask.
What my flustered friend is trying to say is, hello, yes, we're new in the neighborhood. Moved into Troll Skull Manor just recently, trying to do the renovations.
Oh.
Introducing ourselves around. Rin Stillwater.
New neighbors. Oh. Wonderful. Hello, Rin. And you get a little bow.
I'm Macaria Rada, acolyte of Kellamvor. And she like, when she says that, she doesn't hesitate as much, but she like scrunches her like in between her nose, like her right here.
Make a deception check.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Rad. Let's do it. Let's go. Where is the deception? 12.
Okay. All right. Okay. So yeah, they same thing, like just an incline of their head.
What about Larkspur? Do you have any Larkspur?
And they're not like really listening to you. They're like nodding because they have like basically everything.
Everything.
But they're staring at 8. Do you introduce yourself, 8?
Oh. Hello.
Hello there. What's your name?
8.
Like the number?
Yes. Yes, exactly the number.
Funny. You look like one of a kind to me. I'm Fala. And they like put their hand out to you. You shake their hand?
Yeah, I'd be very gentle.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, they shake your hand and kind of give you a look up and down. And like what kind of wood are you made out of? Like the wooden parts of you?
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, nearly all of it is covered. So I guess it's only the fact that they have this kind of intrinsic understanding of it that they would know. I believe it is. It's a wood called darkwood.
Okay.
I think it's native to where I'm from because it
Okay.
has conductive magical properties.
All right. So they shake your hand and then they're fixated on some part of you that is made out of that stuff.
Yeah,
And
like as my arm shakes, you can see like a small sliver of it through the gap in the elbow or whatever.
and they say, "That's not ironwood. What is that?"
We call it darkwood.
It's beautiful. The craftsmanship, I mean. I'm sorry, I'm being rude. And they turn to you, Jewel.
She's 100% just like off in the flowers. Like she's left the group pretty quickly. Like
she's wandered off into the jungle.
Yeah, just like she's from a jungle. This is very like homey for her.
Yeah. So so Fala turns to look at you and has lost you while being fixated on 8.
8 lives with us in Trollskull Manor. If you could come, I mean,
and
they're like looking at their own hand where it was shook, and the person seems very interested. So they like retract the metal plating on their hand, so like the back of it is all just wood. Just like wiggles their fingers.
Yeah, like, and they reach out like to take your hand. They're like, "May I?"
Yes, I don't normally show this part unarmored.
Oh, okay. So you hold your hand out, and they take your hand. And your hand is huge, right? Like they take your hand in both hands, and they close their eyes and place their palm like on whatever part of it is like mostly like wood. Like place their palm on your hand and like close their eyes and just kind of like focus a moment and kind of run their fingertips over the grain in the wood. And they take their hands away and look up at you and just shake their head. And there's a faint like sort of clicking sound as the little like seed pods in their hair like click together.
Makaria is pouting because she's not the one getting pet on the hand by the pretty elf.
Yeah. And they smile and say, "Whatever else I see today, I'm sure it will pale in comparison. Thank you for coming in here. And you live in Trollskull now, you said?"
Yes.
We do.
Lovely.
Hoping to renovate the place a little. I don't suppose You have any leads on anything that might bring in a little revenue? Tasks?
Nothing that I can think of, but I have friends, and my friends have friends, and I think I know the sort of work you're looking for. I can ask around.
Please, inquire for us.
Rin, it was. Stillwater?
Yes.
If I hear of anything, I'll send my friends your way. Siraj might have a job for you.
Siraj? Is this someone I should know?
No. You might come to. A friend of mine.
Well, I look forward to meeting them then.
And if you are the sorts of folk I think you are, if you ever find yourselves in need of an apothecary, someone to make potions for you, I have some, locked away in the back, for special customers.
I will keep that in mind when we have more than a single gold to rub together, as it were.
I think as soon as she says locked away, special, like just see this cat like pop up from behind a very large plant.
I love so much that everyone is going around like meeting their neighbors and like interacting with them, and Jewel is just literally like, let's go to the next shop, I gotta case the joint. Examining the locks, looking at the chest, like where you keep all your expensive shit.
That's what she's about. Do you teach herbalism?
No, I'm rubbish as a teacher, I'm afraid. I haven't the patience for it, which might surprise you.
Well, I'll take some oleander and wolfsbane and foxglove, and yeah, that'll probably be fine.
Okay, so you're gonna buy some herbs.
I mean, yes.
Okay, all right, yeah. So you set about doing that, and the rest of you have a moment in this like flower shop.
Do you try and like touch her hand when you exchange the coins or something? Like, they, sorry. And no, Makaria doesn't touch anyone.
Oh, that's right. Makaria.
Okay, all right, cool. Okay, well, I don't know how much that stuff costs, but if there's something in the player's handbook that equivocates it, you can purchase.
I'll look. I just want it. They're poisonous.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
That was going to be my guess. I didn't know what they did.
They're all deadly poisonous plants.
They're all poisons.
Yes.
Yeah. Or they can be made into poison.
Here I was hoping you might actually buy something that would help us get rid of our ghost friend, but
Yeah.
No.
That ghost's already as dead as they can get.
They're very, very poisonous.
Cool.
They could be more dead. They could be gone.
All right. Well, let's take our last break here, and when we return, we can visit the last of your neighbors.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Stick around. We'll be right back with the conclusion of today's episode. This stream is brought to you by Roll20, an easy-to-use virtual tabletop dedicated to making tabletop RPGs accessible to everyone. Join the adventuring party at roll20.net. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the conclusion of today's episode. Roll20 presents Waterdeep Dragon Heist. You're getting to know your neighbors. So when we return,
Smitty.
Yeah, smoke and steam billow from the many windows around this smallish, kind of squat stone square building. And outside of it, there is a sign that says steam and steel. And it has an image of a sword being thrust into a pot of water and steam forming the letters of the word steam and steel.
I look over at 8 and I say, looks like your kind of place.
Joe gives you a look like, I like weapons too.
All right. It also, my dear friend Jewel, looks like your kind of place. There. Are you satisfied? Happy now?
It's not
Good,
my
yes.
kind of place.
Lead the way then, oh cat of the walk.
He like struts in.
I'm gonna do it. Okay. So
Shoves up all her fur.
okay, yeah. So you open up the door. Yeah, it's hot in here. You can see that there are
strut.
there are racks of finished weapons on one side, suits of chainmail and plate armor on the other. There is a desk at the back, and in a back area you hear clang of someone hammering on a forge.
How quaint. I mean, if you're used to places that can build me, it's like a baby's place. So
Yeah, exactly. The places where Warforged come from are just like giant, horrible machine factories.
yeah.
That engineer war devices.
Rin does not look like she's enjoying the heat of this place at all.
Okay.
Trying desperately to keep her hair like nice in this air.
Yep.
If the reaction of the apothecary is anything to go by, I may become a spectacle again. So
Good.
perhaps I will wait until you have made your introductions.
Oh, but you make such a good distraction.
Oh, were you going to obtain an item
No, it's
or
just
money?
people
Fine.
don't pay attention to you when they're paying attention to something else, and it's a lot easier to learn a lot of stuff about places when they're not paying attention to you.
Fine. And then they makes their way forwards.
First things first. Hello? Anyone in?
So you shout that, and then you hear a man's voice say, "Embrick, we have customers." And then from the other side of the shop, from in the back where the forge is, you hear someone say, "Well, you help them. I'm at the forge." And there's a pause, and it's like, "Well, I'm busy too. You do it."
I love these guys.
And then there's like, you hear another like clang, and then thunk. And then you hear, Fine. I will finish the sword later. When the steel is cold, I will start all over again. And from the back,
no, I don't want to ruin his sword.
the door slams open, and you see wearing a big heavy apron, standing 6 feet tall with bright red, like ruby red skin, eyes glowing like embers, and hair that seems to be writhing like a dancing flame, with huge fucking muscly arms. You see the smith come in, and he has like a chin strap beard, and he walks in, and he's still holding the hammer, and he storms up to the desk, and then he sets the hammer down, and he says, "Hello, customers. How can I help you?"
Yes. Well, pleasure to meet you, first of all.
Is his hair on fire?
It's not on fire, but it's like bright. It's like orange, and not hairdo orange, but like, and it's like it moves slightly when he stands still.
I'm captivated.
We have just obtained the deed for Troll Skull Manor. Just moved in there.
Tell me another one.
No, seriously.
Oh, I am so sorry. I mean that I laughed, not that you live in that garbage dump. I mean, I'm sorry I called it a garbage dump. It's fine.
No, you're right. It's full of trash, but I found some very interesting things in there.
It is a little bit of a fixer-upper, but we just wanted to make sure that we had introduced ourselves to our new neighbors.
And he smiles and he says, "Well, that's different." And he like takes his apron off and he throws it on the floor and it makes a loud like thumping sound. And you hear from the other room, you hear, "Did you just throw your apron on the floor?" And he looks at you and he's like, "No." And from the other room, I know the sound. And then the side door opens and you see a shorter, more like willowy figure enter. He is in every way that the Smith is like red and orange. This guy is blue. He has deep blue skin. His eyes are like a pale green. He's dressed in it looks like they are like priest's robes, but they don't have any sleeves. And he has on both arms like tattoos of like water patterns. He has a holy symbol around his neck that looks like a circle of trees with like a waterfall behind them. And he has a turban like wrapped around his head. And when he comes in, he looks at the Smith, and then he looks on the floor, and he looks back at the Smith, and he says, "You would lie to me here in my own home, in front of our customers. I cannot believe you. When my mother said I could not marry you, it was not because you are a fire genasi, and I am a water genasi, and we come from different worlds. It is because you are a slob." And he storms out, and Embrick is like, "Avi, no, wait." And he looks at you, and he says, "Please, I am so sorry I have to go." When he's like this, I can't. And he runs off after him, and they both just leave the room.
Oh, no.
They just leave.
We'll come.
You can hear them. You can hear them arguing in Primordial in the other room.
I look to the other two. I'm like, they're busy. They're later, I think.
Oh, yes. I wonder. Distractedly trails off.
I don't know if you caught the part about married, but I think they're
that's
already taken.
You know that some people have open marriages, right? When Rin says the word taken, Jules like, no
I wasn't gonna take it.
I didn't. All right. Well, I guess on to the next place.
Yeah. So you go to the door and you can hear them shouting. And when you want to just leave.
Yeah, I think so.
So when you open the door, it creaks slightly and both of them stop arguing. Like there's just sudden silence. And Avi, the water genasi, you see him, he appears out of the doorway and he's smiling and he says, "Wait, where are you going? We haven't been introduced." And he kind of like slides over to you.
Well, you just seemed like you might be a little.
Oh, no. Don't worry about that. We have had that argument 100 times. My husband Embrick is a slob, a terrible slob, a pig, really. It's not his fault. It's how he was raised. He cannot help it. And then you hear Embrick, and he's like, "Husband, I'm standing right here." And Avi turns and looks at him, and he says something in Primordial, and then Embrick just kind of glowers, and Avi turns back to you, and he says, "So, Embrick tells me you are our new neighbors. Welcome to the neighborhood. Have you met everyone yet? I could introduce you if I wasn't so busy cleaning up after my slob husband."
I'm Makaria Rada, an acolyte of Kellamvor.
And Avi looks you up and down, and he says, "How nice, a priest." And who are you? And he turns to Rin.
And I offer my hand out, and I say, "Rin Stillwater."
Okay, yeah, he shakes your hand, and his hand is like cool and soft, like an ocean breeze. And he says, "Stillwater, I like it." I am Avi.
And like, Avi's been talking about people being messy and like slobbish. Rin is the exact opposite.
Right? Do you say something? Or are you like, so I know what it's like? Or
yeah, there's a little like shared look between them as Jewel does something in the background, whatever it is.
Jewel knocks something over.
Yeah.
And so Avi turns to you, Jewel, and is like, "Oh, don't worry about that. I'll add it to my list of things to clean up."
She's like trying to put it back.
With all the spare time that I have just laying about.
Well, actually, I might be able to help you with that.
And he puts his hand up and he's like, "Just a moment. And who is this handsome oak tree of a man?" And he looks you up and down, 8, and he says,
"This is everybody ignores Makaria for 8.
And he looks you up and down and he's like, "Surely you don't have to wear that armor in here. You're safe, darling. It's lovely, fine craftsmanship." And Emmerich mutters something, and Avi rolls his eyes and looks over his shoulder, and he's like, "He's sensitive."
I love these two.
I don't. It is part of me.
And he looks, kind of squints at you, and Embrick says, from the other side of the room, it's like, "Avi, it's a construct. Leave it alone."
I am not a construct.
And Embrick puts his hands up, and he says, "I meant no offense by it. Clearly, whatever made you did so with skilled hands. Whatever my thirsty husband might think, you are what you are. I can see there is nothing inside of you. This," and he gestures at you. And he's walked over to take a look at you, and he says, "This is fine work."
Thank you. Most modifications I made myself.
And Embrick smiles, and he says, "I would love to hear more about it." And Avi slaps him, like just smacks him across the back of the head, like, "Now who's thirsty? You will leave the mechanical man alone." And Embrick is like, and like backs away, like, "Sorry," and it goes back and looks apologetically at everyone, like he's just apologizing for being in the room at all, like, "Oh my god, I'm sorry I exist," and like goes to stand at the back of the room until called for. So Avi turns back and he says, "Well, now that that's over and done with."
I was saying, if you need some help tidying your place, keeping it neat, as it were, not that I think you do, because it seems you do a great job.
I would neither subject you to the horrors of the mess of my home, nor would I allow anyone else to see my shame. It is my burden to bear.
All that I am saying, Avi, is that it would not even be me. Just my unseen servant, Alistair.
Mother of the Grove, if we could afford such a thing. But no. Embrick insists we sell everything in the shop for a mere pittance of what it could be sold for. He believes that it is art. I would like to live in a bigger house. If we are ever going to have children, they're going to need space. And Embrick grumbles, and Avi turns to him like, "We are not having this argument again, even though I brought it up." And Embrick is like, you don't. And then they start like shouting at each other in Primordial again.
Yeah, I would pick up. Do they have, because it's normally quite easy to tell what items are magical by the level of craftsmanship that is required to make something magic in the first place.
You can make a perception check.
Yeah, because I want to kind of scope out and also defuse the situation at the same time.
We have a very large house.
Okay, so it doesn't look like anything out here is magic. No, it's all very well crafted, but it's not to the degree to which you would choose it.
Macario just
so yeah, I think it's
just like after a few moments of silence, just like
yeah. Okay, and 8. Do you want to say something?
Yeah, I think it is blunt and without tact. Well, this is very nice. Do you carry anything more enchanted, stronger protection? I have baseline equipment.
Embrick shakes his head and he says, "I am proud of my work. The weapons that I craft, they are strong and sharp, but we have no skill in enchanting. My husband crafts the armor that you see, though I think looking at you, it would not help. If you are looking for enchanted items, I know that Fala sells potions, and perhaps Rishal would know. You have seen his shop with books."
Yes, we stopped by.
And he nods and he says, "My common is not so good. I do not spend much time there, but I understand." And he looks at Avi, and Avi's like nodding, like it's okay, like talk to our new friends. And Embrick, he says, "But it has been a pleasure to speak with you."
The real question is, other than arms and armor, do you craft things that we could use to refurbish the manor? It is in some disrepair. Braces, chairs,
hinges,
tables.
Avi says, "Well, if you're looking for chairs and tables, Tally is a better choice than we will be. But you could commission us to make you anything you need out of metal. We're used to armor and weapons. These are dangerous times, and it's what sells. Don't judge us."
No, I carry a sword myself.
And Avi looks at it and is like, "I see. I suppose you could call that a sword if you wanted to."
It's a very nice sword. I never draw it, but it's very.
If I had eyes and eyebrows, I would have given you that same look when we first met. Imagine.
I have a mace. It's somewhere. I don't know where.
Well, if you were looking to upgrade your serviceable equipment, we would be more than happy to help. Please, browse around. Take a look.
You take commissions?
Yes.
I would rather know if I were to look into someone enchanting gear in the future. We had a good baseline.
Yes. If you have some special project in mind, come and let us know.
Very good.
And maybe when the house is fixed up, we can invite you for dinner. Or something.
Drink. Yes. I'm sure that would be lovely. Well, this has been nice. So, thank you for coming.
Yes. We'll let you get back to your work. Thank you for indulging our introductions.
And Embrick smiles and says, "If you want more weapons, come back." And then just grabs his hammer and goes into the back room. And Avi gives you a little wave. It's like, "Thank you."
And I guess we leave.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And you can go out the back. There's two like ways through. And so Avi shows you to the back door, which leads you out into the alley and to the last location on your
right.
This was the carpentry place.
Yeah. So this shop here, there are two entrances. One at the front, one at the back. But the one at the front is that like actual front the front room. And yeah, as chat pointed out, if we had stayed in that room, Embrick didn't pick up his apron on the way out, and so the last scene would be Avi picking it up and following Embrick and being like, I told you if you did this one more time, and then the two of them bursting into an argument again.
Oh man.
So the last stop on your little tour of Troll Skull Alley is a small shop. And outside there is a wooden sign that is bare except for a large bent nail sticking out of it. So the sign is just a piece of wood with a nail stuck in it that's like bent.
Nice.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I guess we go in.
Okay.
Enter.
All right. Okay. So you walk in and the place smells like cedar shavings. Like you can smell that like woody, like kind of earthy smell of wood. There is a wall. In the front room is like a display room, and so there's tons of like ornate looking wooden furniture cut in a like modernist elven like style. So it's like modern, but it's got some like elven looking embellishments. Tables, a set of beautiful like kitchen chairs. All on one side. On the other side, there are bows and crossbows, all like laid out on a pegs on a board. And then behind the counter, there are beautiful wooden shields, all carved in different looking designs. And at the counter, he looks up when you come in. There is a man. He is like in his early 30s, probably. He has black hair that in the light reflects a bit blue, and it's braided kind of like on top of his head to keep it away from his work because he's leaned over, and he's whittling something right now. He's woodworking with a knife. He's wearing a simple like tunic or blouse with the sleeves rolled up and like pinned. And on one arm he has like an elvish like leaf and vine like tattoo. And he has slightly pointed ears and sideburns, like black like sideburns. And when you come in, he looks up and he puts a hand up and he says, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Welcome to the Bent Nail.
Thank you. We're just doing the rounds in the neighborhood, so to speak. We've recently moved into Troll Skull Manor and are doing our very best to re-equip the place.
Troll Skull, was it? So they finally sold the place. Your friends of Volos.
That's one way to describe how we acquired it, yes.
And he cocks an eyebrow at you, and he looks kind of like squints through one silver eye, and he sets his tools down. He says, well, that sounds like an interesting story.
Volo Otis.
I don't tell stories, and then she like hides behind 8. well, you see, we found Volo's friend, who is an annoying idiot.
You're talking about Floon. Oh,
yes.
I've met him.
You also think he's an idiot? We have that in common.
I wouldn't say that out loud without a few drinks in me first.
Anyway, so we saved him. I saved him. And then we brought him back to Volo, and Volo gave us a house here next to you, next to where you are.
And he nods and he says, I would have believed you if you told me that you got that house because you lost a bet. That place is falling down. Shoddy workmanship all the way through. There's some good timber in there, but
you could come over and fix it.
And he's like, is that why you're here? That's a big project.
It is certainly one of the reasons that I would happily talk to you business-wise about the property, because it does need renovation.
Right,
but
right, of
we are
course.
currently a little short on the actual coin to do so. You know.
He nods and he says, well, I hate to disappoint you, but I can't work on speculation. I learned that lesson more than once. Let me tell you, if somebody tells you that they're a harper and that you're building them a boat so that they can fight evil, get them to pay you first.
Yeah, it's almost like when someone asks you to rescue their friend, get them to pay you first rather than give you a house that's falling. And she starts just like mumbling behind me and then looking around.
Never mind that. Yes, no, of course, I wouldn't ask you to work on speculation, but just doing the introductions, making sure that people know that we are there and that we know our neighbors.
Yeah, we're just over there.
I swear to God, I give you this look that is like every fucking person ever met. Like every goddamn person. You don't have a single person you can like keep it in your pants for. This is only like a tiny eye language PC. Like
Makaria
is an annoyed glance and nothing further.
I have to tell you, you may have misread the title of your god. He's the Lord of Bones. The Lord of Bones.
Sorry. Right. My bad.
Bones. Just so you know. If you want to change your character now, you can, now that you know the truth. So he says to I mean, he's addressing Rin and Makaria, and in Elvish he says, it's nice not to be the only one of us in the neighborhood. He says it in Elvish.
I suppose. I reply in Elvish.
And then he switches to Common and he says, I tried making friends with, and he looks and he says, Lefilier, Fala, lives in the greenhouse. They weren't having any of it. Typical arrogance. I swear.
Rin nods understandingly, as if she too has had elf spurning in her past at some point.
Well, we are very friendly, and we live. I'm Makaria Rada, an acolyte of.
And he smiles and laughs. And he says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I just got so excited. New faces. And he you can see him kind of like he's practiced this. And he says, Talisol Venelar Fellbranch, at your service. You can blame my mother for that. I got the elven ears, but the human tongue. Please call me Tally.
Tally.
And he nods. Much easier to say.
Yes. So Rin was talking about furniture. Furnishing, we could pay for over time, a bit at a time. Jewel comes up behind her. I think Makaria needs a bed, preferably a double bed. She just walks away.
Jewel, get Makaria a bed for sex. So he nods.
She awkwardly winks.
Yeah, he nods and he says, "Yep. A bed's a good thing for anyone to have, for
useful.
Sleeping in.
Yeah,
I have one myself. I have for many years. Yes, it's very useful. When you get tired, good place to lay down. Tables also good. Chairs too. Now, are you looking to simply live in the place, or are we open in the old tavern?"
Getting it furnished so that we can live comfortably first is probably the best.
It's the most disappointing thing. I drank there once or twice. Love the neighborhood. Didn't always live here. I was visiting, and then it closed down mysteriously.
Did you know the bartender, Makaria, on a totally different track now?
And he nods. Liff. One of ours, actually.
What did Liff look like?
A bit taller than me. Part wood elf, I think. Mustache.
Yes.
look like a bartender? To be honest,
that's the ghost. That's the ghost that's in the tavern. That's the one.
So when you say it closed mysteriously, do you mean? And then she just makes that like someone done got murdered.
And he says he kind of widens his eyes and he's like, I don't know. Maybe.
No, that's definitely what the mustache and the half that gave it away. Definitely, Liv is the ghost in the tavern. I saw him with my own eyes.
I was going to offer to do a bit of a walk around and just give you a quote on furnishings, but if you have a ghost,
he's not. I mean, he's fine.
He was an asshole,
right? More so. So I think it is nice meeting you, but let me know when there's no ghost, and then
wait. Are you afraid of ghosts? She gets really close to his face.
Well, aren't you?
No, they're ghosts. Right. What are they gonna do? Haunt me?
Yeah, quite.
I am.
Go at talks. Hello there.
Hello. I am scared of.
Wait, you're scared of ghosts, 8?
Existentially, they are the antithesis of what I am in a sense.
I didn't know that.
What I will say, Tally, is that I would certainly appreciate if you could give us some sort of assessment as to whether or not the place would be possible to renovate at the very least. Ghost-wise...
I'll keep an eye on Liv.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Makaria can handle him while we...
What would the risk of knocking down an interior wall be?
I did destroy one of them.
He hasn't been there. You should come. We did some...
No, I'm not an architect. I can't talk to you about the structural capability of your new home, but I can tell you how much furniture you'll need if you want to run a bar.
That is what I'm hoping.
What about...
So you get rid of the spirit and then come back and tell me, and then I'll come and visit.
What about the furniture for not the bar?
Well, sure, that too. As long as you don't have more than one ghost. If the bar ghost and the upstairs ghost are 2 ghosts, then you'll have to. You can see he's like sweating a little bit.
There is a single ghost.
There was the barkeeping ghost and the ghost that was cleaning the fireplace.
That was my unseen servant, not a ghost.
It sounds to me like you don't need furniture, but some priests. There's a temple to Ilmater.
Excuse me, Ilmater is not required.
I'm
right here.
Here's
nudges. Oh yeah.
No,
sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say Jewel like nudges Makaria and is like, if you want him to come over, you have to get rid of the ghost.
Do I have to get rid of the ghost?
Here is my thought. Because everyone else seems to just be talking about what we shouldn't do and giving away things we didn't have to talk about, and now I have another problem to solve. Great. Here is my thought. The ghost is a bartender. Yes, that is what we have established.
Yes, he's the bartender.
I am sure that he is probably lurking around, hoping that the bar might reopen.
Maybe we could have a bar with a ghost bartender.
What I am thinking, while everyone else screws everything up, is if you could come over and just look. That may even make the ghost a little more happy about the situation, knowing that we are working towards a solution rather than having an angry ghost or a frustrated ghost or a ghost that wants us to go away. The ghost might actually think we're doing the right thing by it.
I had a drink with him yesterday. He's fine.
It's a drinking ghost.
He was a bartender.
What happens when ghosts drink things?
Well, I was the one that was drinking, actually. Yeah. He wasn't
probably be the same as if you were drinking something.
So I've got a chair needs working on. So it was lovely meeting you.
We could use some chairs.
And he he aggressively nods like, thank you for coming. I have to go now. Please leave.
My name is 8. I did not introduce myself.
Right. Good. Nice to meet you.
All right, everyone, let's go.
All right. Well, it was nice to meet you until you got scared.
Story of your life.
Yes, actually.
Okay. So you're gonna head back to your house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you kind of made the circle. All right. So you leave your house, you come out into the street here, and you come around the corner, and standing on your porch, there are a half dozen men and women in black clothes.
What?
They have swords. They're not drawn, but they're obviously waiting for you. And as you come around the corner, one of them turns, and you see a snake tattoo peeking out of his tunic. And he looks at you, and he sneers, and you see a gold tooth in his mouth, and he says, "That's them." And the group turns to look at you, and then we roll credits. And that's it. That's it for today's episode. So we'll find out what these black cloaked goons are doing on your doorstep.
Dying
Next time. I mean, yes, probably. If it comes to that, definitely that thing. So there you go. This is a good
Find
episode.
out if Makaria allows anyone to touch her.
Now you know. Now you know all the people in your neighborhood. You got whoever the hell Vincent. You have Rishal the Page Turner was the first one you met, and then Mr. Trench.
Oh, he's a private detective. It's a private eye because it's an eye.
Mr. Trench, yeah, with his weird eye sign. Fala Lefelier, the botanist. Embrick and Avi, the steam and steel, and then Talisolvenar Fellbranch, or Tally, who's scared of ghosts. So
why?
Also,
because ghosts are fucking terrifying.
Corpses from Makaria.
Yeah, we should get some corpses.
Yeah,
I don't really.
Why are you scared of ghosts? You don't know how many hit points this nerd has? 4. He's got 4 hit points. Of course, he's scared of ghosts. So
few hit points.
So few hit points. Yeah.
So few hit points.
Yeah.
When do I have 3rd level?
Jules like so few hit points. I could just.
No, I don't even have to roll that well.
Hey guys, we got this brand new house. You also want to own a carpenter's shop?
Literally, I can.
Hey, we got this sweet furniture.
Damage.
How are we gonna make furniture if we kill the furniture maker?
Don't listen. It's a common Waterdevian phrase, right? It's a story about the man who had the guy, he laid the golden chairs, and then he killed him because he could get something like that. Maybe the story's about a duck. I can't remember. It doesn't.
A 4 HP guy could be killed by a lucky rolling house cat.
It's true.
A house cat could kill him.
Yeah.
It must be really, and I think this is actually kind of interesting because of how 8 views humans in the world.
Mm-hmm.
He could, rolling minimum damage, kill any commoner twice over in one swing. Because he does minimum 8, so he's just got to view people just like
they're just everybody's so fragile
things.
Yeah.
Fragile and easily crushed. Like I said when we first moved in, there goes the neighborhood. So if you'd like, in the meantime, between episodes, if you want to like read more about Valo has more to say about the North Ward where you live. You can learn about the temples and stuff there. I'm definitely going to do some more research. And if you, Blue Jay, if you want to read about the Time of Troubles in the Forgotten Realms wiki, basically the book details the kind of rise of Kelemvor and the fall of Bane, Baal, and Merkel. And there's
it's a tragedy, really.
There's some good stuff in there. I mean, Bane, Baal, and Merkel were dicks to begin with.
They were all.
But Makaria will read it as though it is a tragedy.
It was like
Baal is the Lord of Murder.
Yeah.
Merkel is the Lord of Bones.
Yeah.
And Bane is the Lord of being a lawful evil dickhole.
Right. They were basically the three of them. The three of them were they were adventurers, right? They were just shitty evil adventurers.
Yeah,
who got to level 20 and then killed some gods and took their shit.
They became gods, all right.
And then a worse adventurer killed them. So it's just like a whole thing. Anyway,
I mean, Merkel's not dead. He's just in a hat. Okay.
Yeah.
In a hat.
He is.
I'll find the hat, and then it'll be great.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks everybody. This has been our episode. I will let everybody here tell you where you can find them on the internet when they're not here playing Dungeons and Dragons with me. Let's start with Blue Jay. We'll go around starting on this side. Blue Jay, do it.
Oh, hi. My name is Blue Jay, and yes, I am thirsty for all of the NPCs.
Fucking hell.
It's a lot.
I could see it in your eyes. Every time Adam started describing something, you were just like, yep.
Yep.
I could see the drool.
Fun, whatever. I don't care. I honestly don't
it's fantastic. I'm not criticizing you. I'm just.
But yeah, it's also great because I guess the like priests of Merkel, like the thing is like if you touch it's spread out that if you touch them you die. So she probably thinks that if people touch her they'll die.
Yeah.
But also,
totally.
You can find me at twitch.tv/bluejay or on Twitter at bluejay_712 where I'm also thirsty. So.
Excellent. As a stark contrast, down below, it's 8. The Robot Man, played by Dave. Definitely a human.
Dave, definitely wait. No, yeah, that was great. Even though I really love the combat of D&D, this was really fun. I loved every second of it. Thank you so much, everybody, and thank you, everybody, for watching. If you want to find my stuff, you can find me on Twitter at Dave_the_human, or recently, I guess, again on Twitch at Dave_human.
Excellent. Thank you, Dave. Next up, Jewel on the Far Coast, the Stabby Tabby, Random Tuesday.
The Stabby Steely Tabby.
Right.
I stole nothing today.
I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of myself.
And disappointed. But proud, but also disappointed. So both.
Yeah, I know. It's tough. You can find me playing lots of other RPGs on the internet, places like Roll for It and Geek Space TV, or you can find me on other places on the internet at Random Tuesday. I have like secured that name in everywhere but Facebook.
Nicely done.
Coming for you, Facebook.
Excellent. Last but not least, I like that YouTube has already figured out that you're the boss of the party because you're the only one with your head in the right place.
God, I did not plan the character to be this way. That was not the fucking plan.
I like leadership, Elf.
Who did you think was going to be the boss if it wasn't you?
I don't know. Good. Blue Jay or you.
Oh no, I'm the moral compass of the party.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And I'm the one who acquires compasses for the party.
Perfect. Moral compasses. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I am Distracted Elf. You can find me being run down by constant chatter from my teammates at twitch.tv/DistractedElf or on Twitter at DistractedElf, where I actually love them very much, and they're all great, and it's great. And I'm not actually mad.
Fantastic. Well, this is proving to be quite the adventure. Thank you so much for coming, everybody. I'm Adam Coble. I'm the GM in residence for Roll20. You can find me with these fine folks same time next Friday doing the D&D thing. Otherwise, I am at twitch.tv/Adam Coble, where I run other D&D games and other RPGs, and on Twitter at Skinny Ghosts. So that's it for us for this episode. Thanks for coming. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye, everybody. This stream is brought to you by Roll20, an easy-to-use virtual tabletop dedicated to making tabletop RPGs accessible to everyone. Join the adventuring party at roll20.net.